All right, greetings, 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 one and all. Good to see you, Dre. Rep your city, rep your city. Compton, California's in the building. Rose Cran, salute, 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 blood. Salute, salute to all my family in California, my second home. Everybody know my second home in California. The first place I lived in California was Compton. That's the first place I lived. I lived in Compton, then I lived in LA. Then I lived in Glendale. Good to see you, G-Ron. The DMV is in the building. VA is in the building. Rep your city, and I'll show you on the screen. Chicago, Illinois is in the building. My homie. What up, famo? It's the rack. Mr. Allen in the building. Yeah, the rack is in the building all the time. Chicago family. Miami, Dade County in the building. Shout out to everybody in Dade County. Yeah. It's big, it's big, it's big. There's big things going on in Florida. I got people in most of those areas. Denver, Colorado's in the building. Shout out to everybody in Denver. Denver is a major 420 city. Yeah, Colorado. Shout out to everybody out there in beautiful Colorado. I've been up in the mountains up there. I got to get back out there. Let me see who else is here. I don't want to give you no shout out if you don't state where you live, but I'll do it this time. The beautiful Tasha Creates is here. I seen you, Tasha, today, or that was yesterday. I don't know when you posted that, looking like some chocolate cake, looking just beautiful. And girl, they're going to be sweating you if you keep looking like that on social media. Easter's on 420 this year. Whoa. Oh, whoa. That's crazy, ain't it, Henry? Whoa, whoa. Well, I'll be over here for Easter. I will be over here breaking the rules. I'll wild out and put it on Patreon. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's in the building. My good brother G-Ra. Standing firm in Pittsburgh. Salute, G-Ra. Pittsburgh is in the building. Marquette is in the building. What's up, Marquette? Salute, salute. My boy Bosco in the building. He repping Tampa. A lot of Tampa people down there. My daughter was just in Tampa, but she moved. She just moved. I don't be liking to tell where my family at because we got internet trolls. But yeah, my daughter was living there. Yeah, my daughter just left Florida. I think she's been gone now maybe about a year. Hey, Gail. Good to see you. Oh, look at her. She looking good. All the girls be fine. You know that? All the girls be so nice. Is it just me? Are girls very nice people? I've never met a mean girl. They're always so sweet. Maybe these names are powerful. I met some wild Patricias. Pat be tripping. Pat be tripping. Okay, I don't want to start today. I want to stay on point. Don't y'all get me started. Don't y'all get me started. People come over here and wonder what we talking about. I end up talking about anything. Pat be tripping though, don't she? And you gotta be careful which Denise. You know, you got the really nice, fine Denise, and then you got Denise, D-thing. But girls be nice. You can marry a girl. I've had fun. No, I've had fun. I've only been with one Patricia, and that Patricia was my girlfriend from high school, and we ended up growing dreadlocks and all of that. So she was like my first like queen when you start talking about black consciousness. Out of high school, we started growing dreadlocks together. We both worked at the stock. I worked at the stock exchange. She worked at Merrill Lynch. And she wasn't too bad. She was young, so she wasn't too bad. But I had some homegirls in the hood, Patricias, you know, when you and Greg, we only used to fight when we was young, but I had a Patricia, she was cool, but she was young, I was a senior, she was like a sophomore. So, you know what I'm saying? She just sent me a picture of me and her in our tailor-made suits. I went and got her a matching tailor-made suit. There we go. I went and got her a matching tailor-made suit. I didn't really want no girlfriend. I had a girlfriend when I was a freshman. And then, you're in high school. When you're in high school, you're a young boy back then. You're extremely active. You want to play basketball. You want to run around with the brothers all the time. So, after I broke up with my girlfriend, I was a freshman. I was like, I don't think I want another girlfriend. And then she transferred into the school. And I seen that wagon she was dragging. And I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? So we had graduated, you know what I'm saying? I took her to the tailor, got her first tailor-made outfit, matching mine. You know what I'm saying? Now she's no longer Patricia. Now she is Mayot, and she lives in Ghana. So we both kind of got conscious together. No, I never had a Zeus suit. All my suits was tight fit, professional, the business look. The vest got a lapel. I didn't wear jackets, so I never wore a suit jacket. I always had my vest custom made with the lapel on it because Chicago gets cold and you got to wear like a midi coat or a maxi coat. And so it's not comfortable to have on a three-piece suit, to have on a jacket and a coat. So rather than waste money for the suit coat to get made, I just always get the vest and pants and then buy me a nice, cashmere coat or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But this is how I went to work every day. I was a straight businessman. I think I looked like I might have had my Jerry curl. I looked like I had my Jerry curl. I went straight from this Jerry curl to dreadlocks. So this is right before I started growing my dreadlocks. She just sent me that picture. It's interesting. Her name was Patricia. So that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? So I watched the season 4 of Raising Kanan. And Raising Kanan is, because I don't watch TV. So I've only been watching television to watch The Last Kingdom, I watch television to watch that. I watch television to watch, I can't remember the one about the dragons and all of that. I watch television to watch that. And I watch television to watch all the Power Book episodes. That's the only time I've watched TV, Game of Thrones. So I've only watched TV all these years. I watched Game of Thrones, The Last Kingdom, which is off the chain. I got a friend of mine that I finally got them to watch The Last Kingdom, and they binge watched the whole thing. They couldn't believe it. You got to wait till you got to watch like 3 episodes before you see what's going on. They take their time with that's off the chain. And then the only thing I've been watching is Raising all the Power Book shows, Ghost, all that. I watch all of that. I watched the one about Bumpy Johnson, but they just stopped. I guess because of COVID, they just stopped it. I watched that. And the Wu-Tang Clan, that was fire. The Wu-Tang Clan, the Wu-Tang Clan series was fire, fire, fire. Fire. I would be here or I would be at the house, and I would just be going crazy. When they got on stage and the music started, oh man, it was just like a concert. I'm telling you, man, that was fire. Except they had some weird episodes at the end, like cartoons and they in the mountain and all that. I didn't like that part, but it was good the way they took their time. They showed the background. They showed Ghostface and they showed Raekwon. They showed how they all came up first before they got together. That was fire. But that was fire. But Raising Kanan is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. No ifs, ands, and buts. I tell you all, watch Raising Kanan. Watch Raising Kanan. It's going to be historical for you to watch that. Why do I say that? Because many of the actors and actresses on Raising Kanan, do you know what Raising Kanan is like? Let me tell you something. Watch Raising Kanan. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Y'all listen to me. I ain't going to tell you no lie. Watch Raising Kanan. Make sure your children watch Raising Kanan. Make sure your parents watch Raising Kanan. It is going to be historical, okay? It's historical. Let me break down why I say that. A picture helps me explain it more. Do you know what Raising Kanan is like? You know what it's going to be like for you if you watch Raising Kanan? Watch this. I'm going to show you what watching Raising Kanan is like. I like to show you the picture because it's more. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm not kidding y'all. I'm telling you right now. Don't say I didn't tell you. Watching Raising Kanan in 2023, 2024, 25, this time now, watching that series is historical. You're going to be extremely happy that you watched that series. I'm not kidding. Watching that series is like watching, guess what it's like watching? It's like watching Mo Better Blues. If you're not my age, you'll know what I'm talking about. When we watch Mo Better Blues, it was a young Denzel. He was not no superstar. It was a young Wesley Snipes. He was not no superstar. I'm not sure if Samuel Jackson was in that, but I know for sure 2 superstars was in Mo Better Blues, and nobody knew this young Denzel was that good. And nobody knew Wesley Snipes was that good. And now Spike Lee have built many superstars. And you know who is a superstar? Do you know who's in the top 3 gangsters ever? This is one of the top 3 gangsters that ever been in any movie, and I have all the gangster movies right here. Don't make me pull them down. I collect gangster movies. I got the VHSs and I have the DVDs. And this is one of the coldest gangsters. She goes up there with De Niro in them. I'm telling you, they would be smart to put her in a movie with some of them. It's the coldest gangster you ever seen. She cold. Her acting skills is beyond everything. And what I like about it is when you don't know the characters as actors, it's easier to get into their role. Because you don't know, oh, that's Denzel. You don't know because we don't know who she is like that. So but her role, she's my favorite gangster. This is my favorite gangster of all gangsters. More than Joe Pesci, more than all the people that played Dons in movies. I got them all. More than everybody that played Al Capone. To me, she better than De Niro and all of them. Shorty is off the chain. The way she playing that role. She cold-hearted. Oh my God. The coldest gangster. And she ain't gonna get as a woman. And then a woman too. The coldest gangster been in any movie. Cold. I think because she a woman, she colder than ever because you never seen a woman this cold. She cold-blooded. Hey, in the first series of season 4, 50, I hope you don't get mad, but I gotta tell them this stuff to get them to watch it. So I'm gonna have to move some spoilers. But I need to tell them so they could go see this stuff. So she had an abortion, right? She went and had an abortion. And they wanted her to come to talk to the counselor, right? So the counselor was a young white woman. And she played rock. So rock come and sit down. And she tell a lady, basically, I don't need all that. You know what I'm saying? So that she was like, why are you fine after the abortion? She like, listen, stuff happened to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But see me, I don't do all that. Basically, it tripped me out. She said, I don't really do all that. Woo, wah, wah, wah. And the lady, when she left, the white lady was tripping. Hey, West V, am I lying? Did you see the counselor's face? Oh, that was some, hey man, that's some acting right there. And she was like, I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that sympathy stuff. Girl, I'm a gangster. It is what it is. Yeah, she said, I don't complain about my problems like others do. I just accept it. And woo, 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 and woo, woo, woo. And when she left, the lady was, man, I am so proud of 50, man. 50 hired some good people. He's smart. Hey, man, that's one of the coldest scenes in anything. It was breathtaking. I was like, whoa. Hey, last season, they tried to make a move in Jersey. So they tried to open up some business in Jersey. Somebody let the mob in Jersey know, and they came and they had them surrounded. And the Don in Jersey came and he had all his men with guns and everything in her. And he telling her, you know, you come here, it's gonna be problems. And she like, well, it's gonna be problems for everybody, basically, right? Surrounded by guns. It was tripped out, right? So the Don was there with all these Italian gangsters, or whatever kind of they were. They could have been any race. They could have been Irish or whatever, but they probably was Italian. And they got her. And they telling her, we're gonna do you dirty. We know all your operations. We're gonna wipe y'all out. And she like, I don't think so. She was talking crazy to them, like, whatever. If it's gonna be that, it's gonna be that, basically. So when she walked off, the number one man for the Don say, so boss, what you want me to do? And the boss say, I like her. It was tripped out. The boss said, I like her. She was so gangster that the boss was like, hey, she really that, okay? He said, I like her. I like her. This show is off the chain. I'm not kidding. And the young boy that's playing, because he's playing a young 50 Cent from Ghost. All right? So Kanan and Ghost, that was born with Ghost, this is him as a child showing how he got how he was. The young brother is a cold actor. The young boy can act. Do you understand me? He even talk like 50, like a young 50. Have anybody paid attention to that? He talked he got 50 down. He got 50 Cent, the way he talked, he got him down. He talking like a young 50. Now we know 50 talk like that because he got shot. But the character don't talk like that because he got shot in Ghost. So he's playing the young character in Ghost, and he's playing him perfect, man. He playing him perfect. Both of the brothers, the two brothers, her brothers, and his uncles, off the chain. Off the chain. Especially the one on the right standing between Joey Badass. Off the chain. The young girl all the way on the left in the back. She a singer. She's perfect. I mean, they can act. This cast is fire. The young girl on the right, fire. The brother next to her that's alcoholic, the boy can act. Her crazy brother, off the chain. Off the chain. He just did it. The mob sent him because he mistreating the boss's daughter. And the boss sent him because he can't attack his own people. He sent him to send a message, and he sent it to the Italian in the middle. Fire. The young bull right here in the front. These are some of the great actors. The sister, off the chain. Y'all know the OG right there on the left. He been in a lot of movies. And my man, Unique, Joey Badass, the rapper, he killing it. It's probably one of the best casts. Ain't none of them other series had no cast this deep. Ghost was good, don't get me wrong. Although I thought Tommy was believable, but he had to be carried a lot. But I liked Tommy. I liked Ghost. I liked the wife. My problem with Ghost is the wife kept telling him to get back in the game, and that's not realistic. Because if he was in the game with her since they was children, she would not want him to stay in the game. There would have been a whole lot of bad things happen by that time. So the writers kind of messed up with that, but Ghost was pretty good. But ain't none of that messing with this. And right now, he done been like beat really bad and left for dead, and he back like a monster. And bro can act. I swear to God, Joey Badass can act. Oh man, this series got some of the best acting you ever seen in your life. Marvin is crazy, and he trying to change for his daughter while still having to deal with Rock. But Rock is ruthless. Extremely ruthless. Her brothers or nobody play with her, because if she got to lay you down, she'll lay you down. She'll lay everybody down except Kanan. And the young girl on the right, who I believe gonna end up being the gangster of gangsters. If her music career don't pop off, she gonna be a problem too. Cause Shorty hardcore, but she ain't in that world. But she a gangster already without doing no gangster stuff. Oh man, this is one of the greatest shows ever been on TV. I ain't gonna lie. The acting is just, it's nothing like seeing good actors. Good actors can bring anything. Yeah, Jukebox gonna be a gangster, ain't she, Michael? If she don't go to the military and the singing don't pop, she gonna be a problem. Cause Shorty ain't nothing to play with. And her daddy crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? I be tripping out, man. I be waiting for the next season. I don't even watch TV like that. You know what I'm saying? You believe Rock said of Marvin. Marvin can't handle the top spot. Marvin ain't got it. Marvin is a hitman. Marvin can't run it. Yeah, she was the corrupt cop and the gangster. Yep. Marvin can't handle it. Marvin got to take orders. Yep, she sure was. Marvin can't handle it. Not from the character they show he got. You see, let's talk about that. Marvin definitely is a gangster. Marvin is definitely a number one. But in order to be powerful, you need two number ones. A number one got to play the number two. You understand? This is in real life. And so if we running stuff in the streets and you my boy, you got to be qualified to be number one. But we need a number one to be a number two. So it don't matter if it's you or me. We both number ones. One of us got to be a number two so that the number one ain't got no link behind it. The number one got to have a number one in order to make it. Whether it's the music business, whether it's the financial business, no matter what business, the top two both got to be number ones. But to be successful, one of the number ones got to be a number two because you're the buffer zone between everybody under there. That's just how the gang go. So Marvin got everything it takes to run a mob. Trust me, he ruthless. But then who would be the number two? And he's not as smart as Rock. Rock is a genius. She making moves when they don't think she making moves. In her head, she making moves, and they don't even know it. Oh, this is, like I want to do movies and I'm trying to write my book now and stuff like that. And I like the art, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, this is some of the best art ever. And, it's everything about this. It just make me feel so good. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent is one of the greatest Black people in Black foundational Black America history. 50 Cent. 50 Cent is one of the greatest Black men in foundational Black American history. Look what he's doing in Shreveport. Building a whole studio. Look how many Black people he got acting and building their careers. He could have helped a lot of rappers, but they didn't know he was a boss. So Young Buck and Lloyd Banks and the gang, they should have followed dude's instructions. But he one of the greatest ever. Lil Meech was all right. Lil Meech was doing the role pretty good. Lil Meech was able to pull it off because he was playing the role of a real young person. So a real young person wouldn't be that sharp anyway, because he was playing the young Meech from Detroit. Remember him and Terry. So by him being a young boy like that and kind of looking like he don't know what he's doing, it was perfect for the role, because at that age, you wouldn't know what you was doing. 50's a genius. So Lil Meech was perfect to play young Meech. That the fact he wasn't that sharp and everything, it made it look realistic. It made it look like you was really watching young kids selling dime bags and stuff like that. So it really worked because he didn't have to play a mature, like, hustler. He played from living with his mama and all that. So it was perfect. It was perfect. He was good. Him and the brother, they was good. I ain't gonna take it from him. He was good in that role because it wasn't a lot to expect based on the role he was playing. So he was good. And he would have got really good. If he would have just stayed out of that and just let his daddy and 50 handle that, he would have got good. Good to see you, Kush Selassie. So Lil Meech, he would have got good because he's not an actor. That was straight love that 50 say, I'm going to get the son to play him. This is good advertisement. So he took somebody don't know how to act at all, sent him to acting school a couple of years, and just threw him out there. So he can't compare to these people that took acting, was in drama, did plays. The only one over here that probably, if I don't know, I got to look at his history, is probably Joey Badass. But then Joey Badass is a rapper, and rappers can act because rappers be acting. Because you have to act out your emotions. So I think Meech was good. I watched it, and I never tripped out on his acting. They made sure they didn't give him a lot of lines to say. They focused on Terry and his women and stuff. They focused on the mama and the daddy's relationship problem. So that took a lot of weight off of Meech. He didn't have to do a lot. I thought he was good. All he had to do was give orders and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I thought he was great. I thought he was good. I thought he was good. And and with 50 a genius, and 50 the kind of person that you won't hear nothing, and then he'll announce the next season, and Lil Meech will be right in it. And 50 will use all of this to drive his views up for the next season. So I can't. 50 is a marketing genius. So all that beef and stuff, and all that stuff he said to Lil Meech, that don't mean nothing to Fifth. At the end of the day, if Fifth see he could put Lil Meech back in another series and it blow, he'll do it. Quick. Because he's a genius and he used beef to make money. Why wouldn't he do the same thing with that beef? So I can't say nothing what he going to do with that. Lil Meech is probably going to be in the next season. But we have to see. He could not be, he could be. But I can't say either way because 50 don't like nobody to stab him either, and he will dump you. But he also will take advantage of beef for sure. So we'll have to see with that. We have to see. You know what I'm saying? Meech should have just kept his mouth shut and let his daddy and 50 work it out. He shouldn't have said nothing. Another thing is, too, you see how he wrote 50 and 50 showed to everybody? So, don't put nothing or write nobody nothing on social media or say nothing on the phone that you cannot afford to be out there. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was just recently on the phone with somebody. We was having a little disagreement. And I said, if you keep doing this and that, don't keep doing this and that. And they said, well, if I do, what's going to happen? And I said, no comment. You know what I'm saying? Bro, we on the phone. No comment. What do you think this is? Needless to say, when I said no comment, a couple of days went and they came around to their senses and it all worked out fine. What do you want me to say, bro? This is a phone. This phone is hot. You already heard, keep on. And that's all you need to know. I'm not finna tell you on the phone, bro. I'm not finna tell you nothing. And so they started this season 5. They started this season 4. And what happened at the end of season 3 is something went down. I don't want to tell you because you might not watch it all. And they end up knocking some people off in like an old warehouse. But before all that happened, he had got hurt by his brother. His brother got out of prison. His brother was crazy. And his brother ended up putting him in a situation and throwing him in the dump. And everybody thought he was no longer with them. At the end of last season, after Rock and them did what they did in the warehouse and walked out, he walked in the warehouse like this. So they started this season and they showed you what happened in between when he was thrown in the dumpster and when he walked in the warehouse, because you never knew where he had came from. So they went back and showed you all of that, right? So they basically showed you everything happened, how last season ended. They went into the details on his situation. So they had to take him to a veterinarian, and the veterinarian was telling him with that kind of trauma, telling his friend that when it got him, you got to be careful because he might go crazy because he probably got some type of brain damage, right? So Joey Badass is around there creeping around, and it's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. But he thinking that Rock did all that to him, and Rock had nothing to do with it. His brother did it. So I don't know why he think Rock did it when he know his brother did it. So I don't know if he think Rock sent his brother, and I don't know if Rock sent his brother, but I rather doubt. His brother was a crazy man. When he got out the penitentiary, his brother was crazy. He probably was crazy when he went in. So that was bad for him to even be around his brother once he see how his brother was functioning. But his brother's this mean old dude. Well, his brother's no longer with us because that's how last season ended. Right? But we never know. So you have to watch to see what that was all about, if she was in on it or not. But I know he's out for revenge. But she loved him, or said she could have loved him, because it was his baby that she just aborted. But see, she aborted his baby because she thinking he dead. So once I believe he not gonna do nothing to her, because when the confrontation happened, she gonna tell him that she thought he was dead, and that's why she got rid of his baby, and that's gonna break his heart, because he gonna know if she was pregnant by him, ain't no way she had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I think when they finally confront each other, she gonna tell him. She gonna be tell him that if I would have known you was here, I would have kept the baby. See what I'm saying? So I think that's how that's gonna work out, and I think in the long run he gonna be back working for her, but he gonna be crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? But it don't matter how crazy he is. It don't matter how crazy he could be, as crazy as he want to be. He not crazy as Marvin. He don't want no smoke with Marvin. So nobody, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he crazy. Yeah, you all that. But bro, you don't want no smoke with Marvin. Marvin is smart. Okay? Marvin is smart, and Marvin will find you. Marvin will follow you. Marvin will set you up. That's what he do. You know what I'm saying? Marvin, just like he did the gangster. He did that gangster. The big gangster in the middle here said that somebody mistreating his daughter, go holler at him. And Marvin found him in a locker room somewhere and did him dirty. And when he went back to the gangster, he said, thank you so much. He took my daughter on a cruise. Marvin will get you, won't he? He don't want no smoke with. He's not sneaky as Marvin. He's sneaky. But Marvin, the sneakiest person ever been in a TV show. he will follow you and find you. And the crazy thing is, if it get too much, he'll go get his brother. And Marvin and his brother, they not nothing to play with. His alcoholic brother, they ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did. For the big man in the middle. So the big man in the middle told Marvin, you know, you did me a big favor, and that's something going to benefit you. He told him straight up. Because he had Marvin doing it without nobody knowing. He didn't want nobody to know. Because the mob can't go against the mob. They got to supposed to go to a council. And the council he would have went to, I think the dude he was having a problem with, that boss might be a little bit bigger boss than him or something like that. So he got Marvin to do it, and Marvin did it. So Marvin plugged big time with the Italian dude, which is gonna work out great for Rock. So this season gonna be real good. I mean, man, 50 got some good stuff going on, man. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. He got some good television going on, because I don't even watch TV. My TV, I got a TV right over there. It's only gonna come on once a week to watch that. Other than that, I don't be watching TV because I don't be liking the acting. I don't be liking the plots. It be trash. They don't put no energy in it. They don't be getting no good writers. It's a bunch of cornball Hollywood people. We need people like 50, people that really was outside to make the movies. These executives and stuff, they don't be knowing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? You say he gonna try to retaliate. Nah, he ain't gonna try to retaliate. He ain't gonna try to retaliate because Marvin told him, you've been mistreating a certain lady. And he know who sent him. And so he ain't finna play with dude. If he do, he gonna wish he wouldn't have. I think, from my experience, if you cheating on your wife like that, and your wife is the daughter of a Don, and they come down on you for doing that, you're gonna pretty much change your ways because you was bogus. So when you're foul, you don't get that mad when you get checked. You only get really mad when you righteous. But when you doing snake stuff and it catch up with you, you usually accept it. He ain't gonna have enough energy to get mad because he was out there foul. You know what I'm saying? He was out there foul. So, bruh, you married to a Don's wife or his daughter and you mistreating her. You lucky to be still alive. So I think he, because that could have just been it. The Don didn't want to do you like that because it would have broke his daughter's heart. His daughter loved you, and that's the only reason you're still breathing. The only reason he's breathing It's because the Don just want to make his daughter happy. And he told Marvin, he took my baby on the cruise. Thank you so much. He took my baby on the cruise because he don't like him, but his daughter like him. Yeah, I got 3 daughters. So, when your daughters like a dude and she in love with him, I mean, what could you do? But try to make sure he don't do her dirty and you really want him to treat her right because that's what she wants. Because even if he ain't no good, if he leave her, her heart will be broken. She in love with him. Ain't nothing gonna happen to Rock because then the show is over. You ain't got no show without Rock. So the fans, they don't know how to make movies. You're not gonna get rid of, just like the offshoot from Ghost. They're not gonna get rid of Ghost, son. The show over if Shorty ain't running around there tripping. If him and the white dude ain't in it, it's over. So you're not gonna get rid of the person that got everybody watching it. You ain't gonna get rid of the big stars until the series is finna end. So if anything happened to Marvin, that means we're getting close to the end of the series. Other than that, all the side players, something gonna happen to them. Nothing can happen to the main people that make you watch it. And so if you get rid of her, the show is whack. Because the show is based off of her and her son raising Kanan. She raising Kanan, but she a gangster. His mama's a gangster. You understand? So these two gotta be in it. See how they shot the picture with them two up front? Everybody in the back could be expendable to hype it up, but these two in the front, that is the show. Her raising Kanan. So nothing gonna happen to her or Kanan. Or the show is over. How could you have raising Kanan if you ain't got nobody in the show raising Kanan? She told Kanan the other day, I don't need you to love me to love you. Blew his mind. She was like, I'm cool with it. I don't care if you don't like me or not. That shit was deep. Blew his mind. Because he was mad at his mother, but he don't understand his mother saved him and she never told him. So the reason he mad at his mother, because his mother planted a gun on him and got him in trouble. But the mother planted a gun on him, giving him trouble to keep him alive. But he don't know that part. And she ain't going to tell him. So he don't know. He thinking his mama did him dirty, but she saved his life because he a little boy in the gang. Mommy know what she doing. She was trying to get Kanan out of it. You understand? She didn't want Kanan in it. So they both are going through a realization. He realized he's gonna come to the realization that his mama's the ultimate gangster, and she gonna come to the realization that Kanan is a gangster. That Kanan is her biggest competition. That Kanan more dangerous than Marvin and all of them. Shorty a problem. He just a little young. But he ain't nothing to play with either. And he be thinking, that boy dangerous. So eventually, she gonna come to grips with, that's what he gonna do. It's hard. So she torn between being a mother and being a gangster. She see her son's a gangster, but that's her son, so she don't want to admit he a gangster. She want to keep him out of it. She want him to be something else, but he a gangster. Now he wasn't scared of Ronnie. He was going to do Ronnie dirty. Ronnie was scared of Kanan. Ronnie was scared of Kanan. Ronnie was scared of Kanan. For sure. And he think like his mama and everything. Yeah, he did. Ronnie was scared of Kanan. So that's why the movie is so good, because she raising him. She trying to be a good mama, but the baby a gangster. That she trying to be a good mama. She want the baby, she want a baby to grow up and be something else, but he don't want to be nothing else. He went on run straight up. He one of the only ones wasn't scared of dude. He was looking at dude like, dude. You know what I'm saying? Dude, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. So that's what you're watching. You watching them two finding out about each other. In this first episode, for the first time, he really got to see how gangster his mama was. He didn't, he know his mom's a gangster, but not like that. But when she told him, I don't need you to love me. I love you without you loving me, boy. I don't need no love from you. I don't need none of that. I don't even do that. I don't even do love, nobody liking me. I don't even want to be liked. She said, I love you. I don't need you to love me. And she meant it. And it blew his mind. Because she really meant, boy, I don't need you to love me. Get that through your head. Your mama's a gangster. I love you. And he turned around and he looked at his mom. He was bewildered. He was thinking, his mind was like, I can't believe she just said that. He was like, boy, stop thinking that I need you to love me. Stop trying to play this game like you ain't gonna love me and whatever. But I don't care. I said, hell no. He was looking at it just like the lady at the abortion clinic. He looked at his mama like, did she just say that? He was like, dude, I don't need no love from you, period. I don't need you to like me or none of that. Let's just get that part straight right there. I love you. That's it. He looked at her. He just looked. He was tripping. He couldn't believe his mama said that. She meant it. And it ain't the fact she said it. When she be talking, that's why she's such a good actress. You could tell that she's saying it. She's acting like that's really how she is. She really ain't got no emotions, period. She don't be doing no crying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he lost it because he just like her. He just like her. And when you come up in a family like that and you too much alike, you're going to bump heads. You know what I'm saying? It's two gangsters. It's the big gangster and it's the son gangster. And they bumping heads. But the son don't know what he doing. And the mama know what she doing. And the mama really wanted to keep him out the way of it. But he insists. She wanted him to go to school and do something else. Because she don't even want to be in the game. But she just been doing it. So she don't really want to be in the game. But that's what she is now. So it's really, man, it's a great show. It has all type of emotion. It have all type of undertones. I would advise all young black people to watch gangster movies because gangster movies is going to teach you respect, loyalty, trust. There's just don't look at the violence. There's more to the gangster movies. If Black Americans watch more gangster movies, we would have more businesses. We would work together more and all that. Because the bottom line is they be working together and getting money. And that's the part nobody see when you watch the gangster movies. They be getting money. They got a code. They got a certain family respect. And when you break that respect of the family, you pay dearly. And the Black community, you can break the code of the family. You can disrespect the family. You can't do that in that world. That's why that gangster, Marvin went to see that gangster, because you can't marry their daughter and mistreat her. Oh, no. You cannot marry their daughter and just mistreat their daughter all out here. If you marry my daughter and I'm driving down the street and she got your baby and I see you with another woman, we're gonna have to talk. I can't really do a lot to you because it's gonna break my baby's heart. But it's definitely gonna be like the Migos song. Like it's gonna be a little straight. We're gonna get one thing straight. You know, if I catch you out here doing this to my baby girl again, and you're gonna make her cry, I'm gonna have to make her cry. Something I would say to my children, all my children go by gangster rules. All my children, they go by rules of a gangster. We don't do none of that funny stuff or anything like that. None of my children have any problems with anybody. None of my children is out getting involved in things that they're not supposed to get involved in. All my children was raised by their mothers, and their mothers was under my direction. And so we don't be having no problems or nothing like that. Not like that. All my children feel comfortable. They ain't gotta, my sons ain't gotta go find no dues if something happen or nothing like that. My family know, even my parents, everybody, my sister's husband, everybody know if it gets to something they can't handle, they know to call me. As a matter of fact, my mother would tell everybody, don't call Michael when it would be a problem. My mother would tell them, don't call him. You know what I'm saying? Don't call him. Let's try to figure it out. Don't call him. He's a last resort. Don't call him. So they're able to be comfortable. The best way to be a good father is not so much with a lot of talk. It's your actions that they see. And they see I don't be associating with a lot of people. I don't be in any drama. I don't be in any beefs. I don't be with any arguments. My guys is my guys, and we like that. And we don't be all up under each other, and we have no problems, and we don't have no arguments, period. And it's only a couple of them. Never no drama. Never no drama with the neighbors. Never none of that type of stuff like that. I don't holler and scream at my wives. I don't get in an argument with my wives. I don't be getting physical and stuff with my wives. If I'm in a relationship with their mother, if anybody's hollering and talking crazy, it's her. The women do that. They get emotional. They talk crazy. And when they see their mamas get mad and be talking to me crazy, they see daddy don't give a fuck. Let her blow off her steam. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about what she talk about. I'm gonna try to appease whatever she complains about. It's easier for me to just try to appease whatever the problem is and keep it pushing. I mean, you ain't gonna have no problems with the El-Atons because I taught my children to mind their own business. They don't get in other people's business. My children cannot call me with no problem where they got in somebody else's business because I'm gonna tell them you should have stayed out their business. I'm not gonna just defend you and you done went and jumped in somebody's business. If the other person talking crazy, I'm gonna go to them and say, "Hey man, our bad. They should have never got in your business. That's our fault. That's their fault. They should have never got in your business. My apology, because they should have never got in your business. I'm not just gonna go ride on somebody when my son's wrong. My son is wrong, then he wrong. I'm gonna go talk to the other party and be like, he out of line, he bogus. Don't bring my son too. Tell him you sorry. He out of line, he bogus. How we can fix it? He out of line. I'm not gonna just defend you. You out of line. I can't teach you nothing by defending you when you out of line. So that's why we don't have no problem. Because all my children was raised to mind your business. We don't have enemies. I don't have enemies in Chicago. I have no enemies in the city of Chicago. The only time I've ever had a problem out of anybody is because I met a woman and dealt with it, and it was his ex, basically. And he was all out of order because they had been broke up. And I ain't got nothing to do with y'all breaking up. He would beat her up and y'all broke up. Now I'm with her. So he was jealous. But I hadn't done nothing to that fool. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't done nothing to her. You got to get the book to hear all that. So now, when you say you don't want no problems, we don't do problems. We stay out the way. So you're not going to have no problems because we don't do that. All my children mind their own business, doing their own thing. That's it. The only problem they have is like a random burglary or a random robbery. But we don't do confrontation or none of that. We don't do that. My sons is chilled out. They busy getting money. My sons ain't mixed up with no nothing. I never was mixed up with nothing. I had a crew. You know what I'm saying? If they in the wrong, they in the wrong. But the way I keep them out the wrong, because they ain't around nobody to do nobody wrong. I teach them to be loners, stay up to yourself. My daddy never was around nobody. I passed down with my daddy. My daddy never was around no men or nothing. The only people my daddy was ever around was Mr. Smith, who's like his brother that he'd been knowing before I was born, and my uncle Oscar and his brothers. But my daddy was never around strange men, friends. My daddy didn't have no friends. Smitty was like his brother. They knew each other before we was born. Mr. Smith only had Vicky and Taffy. My mom and daddy didn't have no children. They've been knowing that time all the time. So Mr. Smith had Keith. My daddy had me. That's why I keep calling Keith my cousin. That's why I got to say my real cousin or my cousin. When I say my cousin, he's not really my cousin, but our fathers been knowing each other before me and Keith was born. So we like relatives. You know what I'm saying? If you are you tripping for what? I told my brother that one of your sons was in the wrong and got killed. I mean, uh, If my son go and try to rob somebody and get killed, then what, you want me to retaliate on a person? No. You tried to rob somebody, you got killed. Nobody did nothing to you. You went and did something to somebody. You basically committed Harry Kitty. You basically committed suicide. So no, I'm not retaliating for my child being all out of order. What retaliate? That's not retaliation if somebody do something there. Retaliation ain't they did somebody and they retaliate. I can't retaliate or give somebody retaliating. So no. And you did right. You was trying to save your brother. You didn't want your brother to go crash out. That's the only reason you told your brother that. You told your brother that because you didn't want your brother to crash out. You was trying to save your brother. So that's why you really said that. So that was righteous. Think about it. Why'd you tell your brother not to do nothing? Yeah, but you was trying to save him from crashing out. And he didn't understand that. You probably didn't even know why you was telling him that till you think back now. You wasn't even telling him that because of his son and other person. You was telling him that because you didn't want your brother to mess his life up. The other life gone already. Why you gonna mess yours up? Them is hoodlums that go throw their life around. A gangster gonna think things through. A gangster give things passes because you got gangsters and gangsters, and you got the district attorney and the state's attorney and the police. So now you can't get so caught up with this and the police and state's attorneys and them give. The main concern is the state's attorney, the judge, and the police. That's the number one thing you're trying to avoid. You don't, if you do something and you get life in prison, you lost. You lost. If somebody do something that you can heal from and get over and still be out here, that's better than to let it go and refix it and be out here than to go do something and got life in prison. You didn't do nothing but crash out. You didn't even accomplish nothing. The person's still out there. So the last thing you want to do is got an enemy and you in prison and the enemy free. How you won? Even if the enemy gets unalive and you in prison, both of y'all lost. So, with the streets, the main thing you want to focus on is staying out of prison. And that's why you don't socialize, and that's why you don't get in beefs, and that's why you don't be starting stuff out here in these streets. Because it's going to go bad for you. It's going to go bad for you. So avoid, all the young brothers watching me and young people watching me, avoid confrontation, avoid arguments, avoid all this stuff. Because when you get through watching Raising Kanan, it's going to teach you all that. A lot of people going down. So it's not like it's glorifying nothing. People be like, that stuff glorifying. No, it's not. You're not watching it. People getting hurt. People going to prison. People getting unalive. How is that glorifying anything? It's not glorifying nothing. It's showing you what's really going on out here. So that was popping. And then I want to talk about this BMF thing. Will there be a season 5 of BMF? And that's up for debate. We're not sure if there'll be a season 5. It all depends. If there is a season 5, how will it be? Because, Big Meech, he ain't the brightest bulb in the lamp. You know what I'm saying? And he just don't make good decisions. You know what I'm saying? He just, that's why he was in prison all that time. Like this was not a good decision. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good decision. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad decision. But Big Meech got one thing going for him. He just got out of prison. So he can get a pass. You know what I'm saying? He can, 50 might look at it like, all right, dude, don't know what he doing. He just got out. You know what I'm saying? And he don't know how all this go. You know what I'm saying? And if they could turn it into a bag, they'll let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? If they could turn it into a bag, they'll let it go. So we have to watch because 50 is really always focused on how he can make something out of nothing. So he's not going to just necessarily jump over the possibility of doing big things. He's not going to just jump over that like some people think. And he's not going to tell the public because the element of surprise makes money. So he will use the element of surprise to spring a new season, and then everybody going to watch it because they're going to be wondering what's going on. 50 not going to be extremely hard on Lil Meech because he know Lil Meech is a baby, right? So he gonna go hard on them in public because he got to keep up his public persona, and he got to let you know in public, I'm 50. But in his heart and in his mind, 50 know, Shorty don't know what he doing. He not gonna take that to his chest. From the streets, the main reason that 50 wouldn't mess with Lil Meech is because his love for his father, with his father moving like a snake. In the hood, we call that a possibility for a back door. So if you got these emotions for this guy, but I can't really trust your daddy, but you got emotions for your daddy. If I got you around me, you could backdoor me because where is your allegiance going to go? So 50 sit back to see where his allegiance would go. And his allegiance went the wrong way. Because, you see what I'm saying? 50 been shot. And like once that type of thing and you're a victim of violence, that'll never go away. So for all these people that's talking about 50 that ain't been shot, you ain't been stabbed, you don't know what you're talking about. He said, I don't think 50 is going to let bygones be bygones in this situation. He might not necessarily let bygones be bygones, but 50 smart enough to know that he can have you on the television show, but you never get a chance to be around him. So there's a way for him to still work with Meech from a distance and have Meech on the set and all that, but never around him personally. In other words, now you're just another actor like everybody else. So if the money is there, He'll make it look like everything is all right from the point of view of the business. But as far as Meech being close to him, that'll never happen. But he might still work for him. See what I'm saying? He might still work for him, but he not gonna be around him like that. He's not gonna send you to no more acting classes or nothing. He's gonna use you to end the series. And once the series is over, it's done, because your daddy tried to front on him by going around Rick Ross, and now he gonna front on your daddy by getting rid of you. And it's a wrap, because he got to show everybody else, don't play with me. So he'll do two things. The show gonna come out. He don't need Meech in it. He can end the season with Terry. Meech is under contract, so if he gotta come or he'll be sued. And he can make Big Meech really look bad for the last season. He can ruin his whole reputation. You know what I'm saying? He can ruin his whole reputation. But with 50, you never know what he's going to do. You have to wait. I'll be lying to tell you I know what 50 going to do. Don't nobody know what 50 going to do. But nothing's off the table because it's 50. You just have to wait and see. He's ruthless, and he's a shrewd businessman. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And he know that he got a contract, and he know Lil Meech, he's starving him out. And he know that next season going to blow. So he not, for sure, it's going to be another season. He not going to drop that bag, because that's going to be a big, big, big bag. That next season of BMF is going to get more views than anything because of all of this. So I know for a sure he's going to get that bag. The question is he going to put Meech in it? Because he can bring the daddy back. He can go back with the daddy and mama's relationship. He got all that going on with Terry and his baby mamas. He got a whole lot of storylines. See what I'm saying? He got a whole lot of storylines. He wouldn't necessarily end it with Meech being a snitch because 50's smart. He would save that for a whole nother documentary, get a whole nother bag. So he wouldn't throw away the bag, trash, and Meech by connecting it with that. He would finish that series out, make it good to get the bag. Because people got to watch it forever. So he'll stay on the storyline. He's not going to get off the storyline because nobody knew Meech was a snitch until way later. So he can't jump all the way through prison and all that and show Meech as no snitch. He's a businessman. 50 don't got no emotions. That's fake. He's shrewd. He's not going to put his emotions into his TV show. That ain't going to never happen. He's not going to use that TV show for revenge. He ain't going to do that because that's bad for business. He know everybody want to still see the real show. Nobody wanted to turn into some fake hate stuff. He ain't finna do that. He not finna do that. He not finna do that. All that stuff he talking about BMF is to drive the viewers up. When he told Lil Meech, what next season, little nigga? That's great advertisement. Now when you say season 5, BMF, everybody like, oh, it's going to be another season. It's going to be another season. And the views going to be through the roof. Gangsters don't be 50 is a gangster. He's a businessman and a gangster. Most gangsters is businessmen. They control the Teamsters. They control the garbage. They control the concrete. They control the garbage. You know what I'm saying? Gangsters control the casino. Gangsters control sports. Control all that sports betting. So gangsters ain't just running around with guns and shooting. No, gangsters is about money. So he gonna get the bag. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Lil Meech talking right now. And he said, "Don't tell nobody I talked to you and keep this shit going like we got it going." He the type of person the thing will end just like it be going. He'll announce the next season, and then he'll pay Big Meech, and they'll go to prison, and Big Meech will be working with him in prison. It's for the bag. Your emotions, when the bag, they'll do anything for the bag. They're gonna get the bag. The bag gonna always win. I can say for sure, the 50, like any other gangster out here, he gonna say one thing on the internet because 50 make everybody go to his Instagram and he use that to advertise when you come look, just like a TV show. You watch the TV show, then they run the commercial. So you watch 50 Instagram, then he runs his commercial. But 50 not gonna 100% hate on Meech that's fresh out of prison and don't know what the hell going on. And he ain't gonna 100% hate on Lil Meech that's Lil Meech, a little boy. He not finna do all that. He not finna do all that. You'll look up the season to end decent. All of a sudden, Big Meech will get off parole or whatever and be able to move around. All of a sudden, you'll see him on talk about he made a mistake with Fifth. He never should have been around Rick Ross. Man, they'll clean that up so smooth. He'd be like, yeah, I talked to Fifth. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just got out of prison. Woo, 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. Because all he got to do is call Meech and say, man, you want to get this bag and keep shooting what happened in prison and come work on what's happening in prison. What you want to do? And then Big Meech going to be forever in 50. You know what I mean? He going to O-Fip. Like, man, I did y'all bogus and stuff, man, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody care anyway. All of us street dudes, we ain't mad at Big Meech. Big Meech just got out of prison. He don't know what the hell he doing. Big Meech got out of prison. He don't know nothing about no Instagram. He don't know nothing. Okay? When brothers get out of prison, they got to get reacclimated to society. So it could go either way. I ain't going to say it's going that way or that way. I'm just letting you know it's a possibility it could go either way. At the end of the day, wherever it go, it's going to go against Rick Ross. It's definitely going to go against Rick Ross. If it go against Rick Ross, it's up. And Big Meech already backpedaling off of Rick Ross. Rick Ross taking the L. Concert got postponed, never happened. Now Big Meech like, I took pictures with this dude for a concert. Damn concert never happened. See what I'm saying? My son, boom, he might, and now his work messed up. Rick ain't gave us nothing. Rick played me. Rick Ross played him. See what I'm saying? Played Big Meech like a sucker. But see, Big Meech made a big mistake because he disrespected the Hoover family. See, Big Meech disrespected Larry Hoover. To me, because if this man say, I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, and the Hoover family get down on him and say, don't be thinking you us. Meech was supposed to get out and he was supposed to ride with the Hoovers and say, don't be thinking you me either. If he said he think he two people, and these people over here say, don't stop saying you think you us, Big Meat should have got out and said, and don't say you Meat either. Big Meat should have rolled with the GDs. He should have said, you can't think you Meat, bro. You was a correctional officer and a rapper. You ain't never thought you was no damn Big Meat. See what I'm saying? That's what Big Meat made a mistake. Allegedly, Rick Ross paid the GDs how much money? So Big Meat could have went and got the same money. 50 Cent didn't necessarily get that concert canceled. That's alleged. I don't believe 50 got that canceled. I believe a lot of rappers said they're not coming. Once Lil Baby dropped out the show, Future dropped out the show. If I have a concert, let me teach y'all some business. If I have a concert and I put on the flyer, Lil Baby, Future, Boosie, and all that, if one artist drop out, basically, now I'm liable for a lawsuit because you bought a ticket based on everybody on the flyer. If somebody don't come, that's false advertisement. Anybody know about Atlanta? No. Atlanta like this. Once Lil Baby not coming, for sure Future ain't coming. Now it was Lil Baby, wasn't Lil Baby and Future. It was who else? It was Lil Baby, it was somebody else from Atlanta. Whoever else it was from Atlanta, they ain't coming. They ain't coming. So once Lil Baby say ain't coming, it was over. Who else was on that show? It was from Atlanta. It was Lil Baby. Oh, it was 21 Savage. It was 21 Savage. Y'all think 21 Savage was gonna come? If Lil Baby ain't coming? And Lil Baby at 21 like this. It was over. How you gonna sell me a ticket and Lil Baby and 21 Savage ain't there? Them is like two of the biggest names on the marquee. Show over. Lil Boosie ain't coming either. He trying to be politically correct and get his money on Vlad. I ain't hating on Boosie, but Boosie wasn't gonna go once he seen 21 Savage and Lil Baby step out. He like, I ain't gonna lie, I can't come either. 50 ain't canceled that show. No, 50 did. So why Lil Baby stepped out? 50 did that? 50 didn't do that. Why Lil Baby step out? You got proof? Because that's like allegedly, but do you got business proof? Like, I'm a businessman. Show me the business. Show me business part of it. Show me a statement show me a statement. Show me something. I'm not gonna go by no gossip because you in Florida. You gotta show me the business. Show me the business. Tell me where I can go see the business on the cancellation of the show. Because there's proof that Lil Baby was stepped down. Lil Baby didn't step down because of 50. That's just rumors. I don't think I'm going to do no breakdown because I don't be wanting to give away. I'm going to just do this one so I could be helping 50 get viewers, but it'd be unprofessional for me to tell what happened in the episode because these type of things, people go back and watch them. They might miss so many seasons. They have to go back and watch all the seasons. So I ain't going to really tell. I ain't going to be comfortable telling what's going on and messing up dudes' stuff. I just really thought about it. I wasn't going to tell this, but I thought this could help Phil by making everybody want to go see the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna want to, tell what happened. 50 didn't take the credit. 50 said, I ain't had nothing to do with it. 50 said, I ain't had nothing to do with it. That's just internet talk. 50 can't cancel that show. The rappers didn't come, bro. The rappers didn't want to be affiliated with Big Meech. Okay? The rappers didn't want to be affiliated with Big Meech when there's allegations that he was a snitch. Okay? That's what happened. It wasn't a good look for them. The rappers didn't want to be mixed up in that performing until they find out what's going on. And so if you're a rapper and you say you're going to do the show and they put you on the fly, but I'm your manager and I call you and be like, get off that show, bro. You're going to get off the show. So all the G's around the rappers told the rappers, get off that show. This is a bad look. You're going to be in the middle of the controversy. Okay? They're going to say you performing for a rap. You know what I'm saying? So anybody talking about 50 stopped the show, that was no benefit to the rappers performing at that show and just even taking a chance with your reputation. Rick Ross is a correction officer and they saying dude snitched. What rapper gonna do that show but a fool? Nobody ain't gonna do that show in the middle of that controversy. When they said they was gonna do that show, that's before the controversy. They agreed to do that show before this got out. And when this got out, now they like, oh, hell no. Next thing you know, you see Rick Ross with a sling on his arm, all kind of weirdo stuff. You don't know if somebody did something to him or if he was just doing that for props. You understand? Yeah, they been said they was going to do the show. So then when it got canceled, people started rumors. 50 Cent got it canceled. Like, man, 50 Cent can't get nothing canceled. Only the rappers that's supposed to do the show could cancel. Ain't no rapper going to do that show. I'm in the music business. And soon as this picture came out and there was a bunch of stuff, my artists would have pulled out. And these are facts. These are business facts. I'm talking business. I would call my artists, don't do that show. We got enough problems. We don't want to be messed up in their shit. Nobody like Ross. Ross is a good performer. Ross is a good artist and a good performer. You know what I'm saying? Ross is a good artist. Ross is a good performer. And all the disrespect on Ross for being a correctional officer, all that shit false. All that shit false. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying that. All that shit false. Being a correctional officer don't do nothing, don't take away no street cred. Period. That's false. The people ain't in the streets. They just be making shit up. And just because Rick Ross was a correctional officer, I don't mean shit. Being a correctional officer can put you deeper in the streets. I'm a correctional officer. Boom, dudes coming through. 2 Latino dudes come through. They tell me, hey, me and my homie, we with the cartels, we got a lot of stuff. You know, you get us a phone, get us something like that. And then when you go home, call my man. See what I'm saying? And so you could get plugged in jail. Like you could get plugged being a police or being a correctional officer could plug you to the street. You understand? When I got locked up, I met some cartels, but I ain't had no pen or nothing. And I was in there for 4 months. So I ain't had no way to write their number down or nothing. A lot of times you ain't got no pen, you know, it's crazy. And they like, call me, they got all this shit. But I had no way to keep their information, and you moving quick and shit, and they on the deck, and you in the pen with them. Y'all all in the bullpen, and then they sent you to Division 5, they sent them to Division 4. You know what I'm saying? So just because he was a correctional officer at a young age, like, don't mean nothing. Even being a gangster is at any time. At any time, you could go from here to there. Let's take me. I was a conscious Rasta. Facts. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See, people that ain't in the streets, they go by make-believe. I tell y'all the real facts. Let me show you something. Let me get the closest picture. All right? And I ain't going to tell y'all no lie. See, nobody want to tell you that. I'm going to tell you the truth. So, this is me. I'm like 30 something, about 30, maybe 29, 30. So this is me. Then I get stabbed. When I get stabbed, I come to Chicago in a wheelchair. This is me, super conscious, pro-black Rasta in California in the late, like 79. I mean, not like 80, 89, just like 88, 89, right? That's me. Right? I get stabbed. I learn how to walk. I'm in Chicago. I ain't in LA no more. I meet a whole lot of different people. Right? Right? And then I become this dude. These ain't the same dudes. This dude is dead. This dude was born in UCLA hospital on a gurney doing surgeries to save his life. It ain't the same person. So now I'm in my 30s. I ain't the same dude was in my 20s. I'm a whole different person for real. Not for play. Now, you could have been in the streets. I'm out here like that. I didn't change. I'm 32, I'm 33, I'm 34. You've been in the streets since you was 19. So you looking at me bootleg. But is the action going to be bootleg? Because the action ain't going to be bootleg. The action going to be real. So you get into it with me, you're going to think I've been like that since I was born. Yeah, I was still plant-based. I was still a vegan. I was still plant-based, but I was a monster. I was around a whole different group of people. My experiences in life put me in a whole different area and a whole different thing. I'm not the same person. This dude hadn't been stabbed and left for dead. This dude been stabbed and left for dead. Then this dude goes to the county jail for 4 months and becomes even worse. And then meets a woman and moves in with her in O-Block. And it got worse and worse and worse. So Rick Ross, this Rick Ross ain't that Rick Ross, that correctional Rick Ross. They ain't the same people. That's the worst mistake you can make. The worst mistake you can make. You cannot stick nobody to no certain period in their life. It does not work like that. I'll tell you something else too. We grow faster than dogs. This dog right here, he probably ain't nothing but like 1 year old, maybe 1.5. He ain't no killer. If you meet this dog and then you go back and see this same dog 2 years later, that ain't the same dog. That's why they tell you, don't be trying to make your dog be aggressive when he under 2, because he going to automatically, right? He going to automatically get a more meaner and serious once he get 2 years and older. So by the time he get 3 years old, it's going to be a whole different person. So this Rick Ross ain't the correctional Rick Ross. This is a whole nother Rick Ross with a whole bunch of different experiences and all of that. And being a correctional officer don't mean nothing. That's just people don't know the streets. Every black man in Florida is a gangster, even though working with shit in the black neighborhood. You got to be a little gangster anyway. You understand? Because life will change you. And so now when Rick Ross wanted to rap and he in the studio, who he in the studio with? Gangsters. In those days, when we was producing music, there wasn't no, everybody's the gangsters in there. All the money, street money. All the other rappers is gangsters. So you can't be regular no more. No, I never hit my dog. If you hit your dog with an item, the dog gonna be scared of the item. So now when you got the dog and you don't got the item in your hand, the dog will attack you. So if I hit my dog with a stick, my dog gonna fear the stick. And as far as the dog concerned, once I put the stick down, it's up. So I never whoop my dog. I holler at my dog and make my dog sit down when he little. When he little, I make him sit down. And I don't whoop my dog, but I hit my dog with my hand. I punch my dog in the face, but I won't punch him and hurt him, but I'll punch him. You know what I'm saying? Because the dog only respect the dog life, and I'm the leader of the pack. And in their world, they bite each other. The leader of the pack will bite him. Well, get him to show him sit down. So you got to raise a dog in a dog world. So you got to do it when they little. So he's little, he a little pup, and I say, sit. He don't want to sit out here. Sit your ass down. See what I'm saying? So by the time he get grown, he run around and say, hey, go sit your ass down over there. He going to go sit down. He know when I'm mad. He know when I'm cool. But I ain't got to hit him. I don't be hitting my children and shit. I be already teaching my children by my voice and how I act. You get some little taps, but I ain't finna be beating my children. The smaller they are, the less you got to tap them. So a puppy, you could just hit him with a piece of newspaper. He gonna sit down. It don't even hurt. It's not the fact you hitting him with a piece of newspaper. It's the fact you scaring him. But I didn't use no newspaper. No, I always use my hand. Because sometimes they try to test me. I'm like, sit your ass down. What the hell's wrong with you? And then he see I'm mad at him. The main thing is you're trying to show him you mad at him. You ain't trying to hurt him. You're trying to show them you mad at them. They don't want you to be mad at them. They want you to like them, and they're going to go sit down. But you got to do that early. You can't wait till they a year old, 12 months and all that. You're doing all that. 2 months, 1 month, 2 months. When the little baby got to sit down. The baby got to sit down before he even big enough to put a leash on his neck. Sit your ass down. You got to train a dog. You know what I'm saying? You come in the house with the dog, you tell him. You give him a command. You know what I'm saying? So you come in with the dog. You come in the house, you say, check it out. And then you walk him in every room. Right? So I come in with my Rottweiler in the house after I walk him. I say, Thunder, check it out. And then I walk him upstairs. Every time I go the same way, this room, the bathroom, that room, downstairs, here, the basement, there. Next day I come in, check it out. I take him to all the rooms. Check it out. After so many months, I can come in the house and take him off the leash and say, check it out. He's going to go through the whole house. He's going to go to every room. He's going to go check it out. But the people, they don't raise the dog. Like you got to teach the dog from a baby. You see how he's sitting there? He don't necessarily want to sit there. I taught him to sit his ass down. I raised him just the children and the dog get raised the same. And that's why the dog respected. Because you tell your son, sit down, stop running through this house. You tell the dog, sit down, stop running through this house. So the dog don't feel discriminated against. The dog feel like a part of the family. You know what I'm saying? That was a Uzi. The Mac, I threw my Mac, I got rid of the Mac. It'd be jamming. Mac 10s was trash. Mac 11s too was trash. It jammed. I got rid of the Mac. The Macs was jammed. They was trash. Back then on New Year's Eve, that's when we would test them. And we would go out and test the catacombs and all that on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve was test night. So New Year's Eve, we go by Dre's crib, or we go by Mike's crib, or we go by somebody's crib, and we all come, we bring all that stuff, and we test it. It's always been like that. New Year's was the day when men tested their guns, made sure they was clean, made sure they was all right so they could protect the family for the rest of the year. So that was the day your daddy would shoot his gun to make sure the gun worked, make sure the gun clean, make sure he could still handle it. They wasn't just shooting in the air for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Your grandparents or grandparents, they wasn't just shooting on New Year's for nothing. This was the day you bring the gun out, you clean it up, you shoot it, you let your wife shoot it to make sure she could defend herself. This was the day where you taught the family how to defend themselves and make sure everybody got gun skills and know how to handle a gun and stuff like that. And that was the day your daddy let you pop the gun. So by the time you get like 4th or 5th grade, that's the day daddy let you shoot. You know, we would go maybe to Mr. Hardy house. It'd be Mr. Hardy, Mr. Richardson, Mr. Kennedy. Be a bunch of men there with their wives, no single men. That's another thing. There wasn't no singles there. If you wasn't no married man with no wife, you couldn't come. If you was a young, older cousin or something, you could come one time and the women gonna ask you when you gonna settle down. Nobody respected no single motherfucking grown man. If you was a grown man and you was single, you was a loser. And so if you was young and you came to the family function by yourself, the women would say, when you gonna settle down? If you came to another function, they would have a single woman there to introduce you to. Now, if they couldn't introduce you to no woman, you ain't invited no more. You're not invited. Not like now you go to these functions, all these weirdo dudes with no queens. Grown ass man ain't got no woman, ain't got no wife and no children. Weirdos. Nobody would mess with you back then. Nobody messed with weirdos. No grown ass, single ass man, and you in your prime, you supposed to be having babies, and you ain't got no damn babies. Or you got a baby stuck over here somewhere, you ain't got no wife. What kind of buster is you? So when I was coming up, there wasn't no single. We didn't do singles. Single men was losers. And single women was losers. Why you can't get no husband? What's wrong with you? But the day where you checked your guns and stuff was New Year's. And that was the day your daddy let y'all shoot. So after the men go and shoot first, then they let their wives shoot to make sure she ain't scary and closing her eyes when she shoot. And then the boys, if you maybe around the 5th grade, 6th grade, they would let us shoot. And we go in the backyard, whether it be Mr. Richardson's house or my daddy's house or Mr. Hardy's house, right? Because when they had parties, it was all married couples. A lot of times everybody had a basement. So the adults would be upstairs partying and the children would be downstairs in the basement playing. Or outside if it's warm. No single weirdo men. If you was a man and you didn't have no wife, they think something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Nobody want to be around you. Nobody want no single men around their wives. That's why y'all be cheating and people be taking your wife right now. Because you around too many single people. Ain't supposed to, all that you in your mid-20s and all that single stuff for mid-20s, you losers. I don't respect no men can't get no wife. You ain't got no wife, you a loser. You no good for the black community. Because in order to have good women, they got to be trained. In order to have good men, they got to be trained. The only thing train you to make you a good man and a good woman is the responsibility of marriage and children. And then when you married and you got children, now you got to carry yourself a certain kind of way. You get married and have children. Ain't no have no children before you get married. You understand? Ain't no have no children before you get married. You get married. Back then, they used to call it courting or dating. You'd have to court. You had to date a lot. And then once you realize you really want to get out like that and you want to be sexually active, you got to go get married. Period. I recommend marriage, whether it's before kids or after kids. I recommend serious relationships. So if you can get married before a child, good. If you can get married after a child, good. But I recommend serious relationships. When I get in a relationship with a woman, that's it. I'm not looking for another woman and I got a woman. So if I got a woman, I'm not trying to talk to women. I'm not trying to get nobody. I got a woman at home with my child. I'm not out here trying to talk to no chick and I got a woman. That's for losers. I got a woman and I'm out here getting a bunch of phone numbers, talking to women for what exactly? Like for what? What are you doing? And you really think that you can have a son and you could cheat on this mama and you think he gonna respect you? Whoever cheat, the children don't like. If you're in a relationship and you got children, the first one cheat is the one the kids do not like. They're gonna always kind of love you because you mom and daddy, but they never will respect you like that because you cheated on their mama or you cheated on their daddy. And they ain't gonna like that. They gonna like the one that got cheated on, and they gonna feel sorry for the one that got cheated on. So when you go out here and you cheat on your woman, you got children, them children gonna love their mom even more and kind of look at you as a loser because you cheated on mommy. What kind of daddy is you? You ruined our family. You a two-time fucking loser. You understand? The children ain't gonna respect that. So back in the day, everything was family oriented, and then they would go out on the 4th of July and shoot fireworks or whatever. But on New Year's was when everybody made sure that their guns could work. Because you got to understand that our parents used to hunt. So my granddaddy got my daddy out with the gun early. They shooting rabbits and stuff. They from Alabama. So a gun ain't got the same significance in Alabama like in Chicago. They used to guns. On my mother's side, my granddad on my mother's side, in the living room, he had the gun, he had the shotgun on the rack right there in the living room. Right there when you come in the front door, there was a shotgun hanging on the rack because if they having a problem and somebody outside, they got to be able to grab it to defend the house. Also, he lived on the farm. So if it's wolves or something out there trying to kill the cattle or something, my granddaddy got to go out there and handle it. So the gun was different in the South, in the woods, on a big farm with no street lights and all that. So when them people migrate up here, the gun had the same significance as it had in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? I was probably about 13 years old, 13, maybe 14. And one night, my mom and daddy was finna go out. I was old enough to stay home. My sister a year younger than me. My mom and daddy finna go out. And this is one of the few times they're going to go out without us because parents never went out without the children. So this night, they might have been going to some type of thing at my mama's job or something like that, some type of adult banquet or something. Because Black families never went nowhere without their children. So this was a rarity that my mom and daddy was going somewhere without me and my sister. My parents never went to the movies without me and my sister. Everything that Black families used to do, the whole family went. The drive-in, dinner, vacation, movie, everybody go. Your daddy never take your mama on a date without y'all. The daddy take the whole family on a date, not this weirdo shit y'all doing now. So this was a rarity, right? If you're a young man and you sleeping with every woman you find, it's because you don't know no better. It's because you don't know no better. But what I'm saying, G-Rock, if you're a young man and you sleeping with a lot of women, you're going to like one of them. It's impossible for you to date different women and don't start to like one and fall in love with one. So at that point, you start to really like this one. How you keep doing it, right? And so on this particular day, this night, my daddy called me in in his bedroom. He said, Michael, come here. And I went in his bedroom and said, what, Dad? He said, me and your mama finna go out. He said, go in my closet and get that rifle out of there. Which my cousin sold my daddy rifle. He thought, another story. So I went and got the rifle. My daddy said, give it here. I gave him the rifle. He went and got some bullets out the drawer. He opened the rifle. He put the bullet in it and he cocked it. He said, you see what I just did? I said, yeah. He did it again. He did that. The bullet hopped on the bed. He took it. He put it in there and cocked it. Closed the bullet in there. Then he took it out again. He said, you do it. So I picked up the bullet. I put it in there and closed it. He said, okay. He said, do it again. I checked it out. I put it in there. No, not like that, boy, like this. I put it in there. Keep your finger off the trigger. I don't got my finger on the trigger. Put it in there. He said, do it one more time. I did it one more time. He said, okay, you got it. He said, me and Bessie, we finna go out. If somebody out there messing around at that door, you see this window, you open this window, and you put the thing in there, and you point it, and you shoot the son of a bitch. And then call Smitty, which I tell you is my daddy, like his brother, but is really his best friend, that lived right down the street. They happened to move on the same street we moved. When we moved from the low end, we both end up on the same block. He said, then call Smitty, and Smitty would come down here. But my daddy told me, if anybody come to the house at that door at night, my daddy told me shoot him. He said, open up this window, put this bullet and open up this window and shoot this son of a bitch. That's exactly what he told me. I like 13. I swear to God. I didn't know. I thought that was the way things go. So I said, okay. I didn't think twice about it. I'm like, okay. That's how we was raised. He said, do that. That's what I was going to do. I didn't know there was nothing wrong with it. He said, shoot him. I said, okay. And when I said okay, I meant okay. If you would have came outside that house, you would have got shot. For sure. And I wouldn't have missed, because my daddy used to buy me toy guns all the time. Guns with aims on them, guns with stickers on them, guns with pellets on, a little arcades where the things move and you got to shoot the light. And when you shoot between the light, the little animal fall down. He taught me how to shoot from a baby. But by the time I got to Hawaii and we was up there, up on my property shooting, I had never been to the military. The brothers from the military say, Pharaoh, how you learn how to shoot like that? I'm like, my daddy bought me toy guns my whole life. You understand? Because he from Alabama. He wasn't teaching me no New Chicago rules. He was teaching me Alabama rules. They from Alabama. They the ones was free. They the ones whites were not playing with them. You understand? There's a period where they left us alone. Why? Because you got the deacons for the defense and all this. Because black people start shooting back. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Once black people got free, the first thing they bought was guns. You understand? I'm not promoting violence. I'm just telling you the history. Because they'll take this, and take your words and twist your words into some crazy shit. And that's why we didn't play with guns. I never played with guns. I never played with guns in the street. I never used guns in the street for intimidation and gangster. I never did that. I never was pulling guns on people all out in the street and all that. I ain't doing no weirdo stuff like that. Guns was to protect my family and to protect myself. Guns was not to be aggressive. That's not what they were for. If we need to get back to that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be talking about that probably later on tonight. If you don't have babies, you don't have no power. If you don't have babies. If you don't have babies, you don't have an army, you don't have protection, You don't have no vote. You don't have workers. Who gonna work? What you gonna build with no babies? So when you say you don't want to have no babies, you saying you want to just be wiped out because you ain't gonna have nobody to open grocery stores to work in the grocery store. You ain't gonna have nobody to work in the gas stations. You ain't gonna be able to build no factories, have no workers because you ain't got no babies. So when I see the young generation, I see you black men ain't got no babies. Y'all a disgrace to the race. Because now you ain't got nobody to defend you. You ain't got no army. How you gonna have an army with no babies? How you gonna defend your neighbor with no babies? How you gonna build businesses with no babies? Babies is people, but you look at them as babies. I was talking to a sister, and I told her, you need to have some babies. That's the best thing you can have. She said, babies is expensive, Pharaoh. I said, babies benefit you. She said, Pharaoh, how is babies going to benefit you? And I said, LeBron James. She said, oh, hell no. I asked her, how's LeBron James' mama living today? Because you're not looking at the potentials of the baby to be super successful. You're not looking at the potentials of the baby to be rich. You're just looking at the baby. But babies equal money. Babies just don't equal money out. Babies also equal money back. Just like you could go to a bank and save money for 24 years, that's the same thing you're doing when you're raising a child and they get 24. That's money. If you're a good parent and now your child is in the tech or your child's in the medical field, that's money. That's an investment that keep on giving. Now your son in the NFL. Now your son in the NBA. Now your son got some big time job making $250,000 a year. You show me one person that don't want to have no babies that don't be wasting money that they could be feeding their children with. Because it don't cost that more to feed two than to do one. If you got one child, you're going to be throwing food away. You can feed two children with what you got to buy for one. Because the food only lasts so long for it spoil anyway. So it don't cost. You buy a bag of rice. So you could buy a bag of rice just to feed one baby. A bag of rice can feed two of them, three of them. It's still going to be a while for the rice gone. That baby can't eat that rice. That baby can't eat them beans. Baby can't eat that stuff. If you and your woman got one baby, you still going to have a 2-bedroom. So you might as well have two babies in the other bedroom. You don't necessarily need a 3-bedroom. And if they boys and girls, they can sleep together until they start growing sexual parts. Little kids, they can sleep together, the boy and the girl. They ain't sexual yet. So you got all them years to figure out how you can get them separate rooms. You cut corner to raise them children. You've got to pull out bed for shorty in the wherever, in the living room, whatever, to raise them, to get them where they go to college. And you did your job, no matter how much corners you had to cut. You did your job. Now it's going to come back to pay you. Now you got somebody to look out for you when you get older age. You got some investment. That's why you want to be a good parent. That's why you want to make sure your children go to school. That's why you don't want your children playing around in school. That's why you don't let your son just run around, do whatever. You training him to be productive for the family. Not no loser. And you got to stay together to raise these children. But you got some of these women out here and some of these men, y'all don't think about your children and the family. All you think about is your selfish self. You just want to run and rip with this one, and this one. You don't care nothing about the children. A black man think he doing something because he got watches and cars and stuff. If you got pants, if I ain't got that much money and I got 3 children, and you got a lot of money, you ain't got no children, you ain't shit, you ain't got nothing. That junk you got, my kids is way more valuable than that junk you got. My children is way more valuable than your car, your clothes, your home. My children are worth more than all of that. One of my children is priceless. How much your mansion costs? Because my baby worth more than your mansion. My baby priceless. That's not messed up about Dr. Umar's child. I don't talk about that because it's 2 sides to every story. And women will keep you away from your child, want you to kiss their ass to see the child. And when you say fuck them and the child, then they want to grow up when the child get older and say you a deadbeat daddy. Okay? There's no proof that that girl mama was worth a damn when she was a little baby. The girl, through my daughter, don't know the story. How she gonna tell the story that she don't know? How Umar's daughter in her 20s gonna tell the story what it was like when she was 5? She don't know what it was like when she was 5. So that's why I never talk about that. That's all fake. Because we live in a world where the European society let the black woman act like a damn fool to make the family fucked up. So the mamas be trash because the system lets you be trash because the system is out to destroy the black anyway. So the best way to destroy is let our woman be all the fuck out of order and take away the power of the man. We don't have no power because you run to the police and you run to them and they give you welfare and they take care of you so you ain't got to listen to me. So in terms of the family, the black woman is the one destroying the family because she the one running behind the European, getting shit from the European. She depend on him for child support and all of this. So she ain't no damn good. You don't want my opinion on that. The black woman has sold her race out. Been sold them out. When they first started giving out welfare, they told the black woman, you can't have no man in this house. And they used to come, if y'all know about ADC, we used to call it after daddy cut out. They would come to your house and make sure ain't no men's shoes in there. They used to inspect the black woman's house to make sure ain't no man there for her to get them little checks. So when she did have a man, she never wanted to settle down with him to lose her check. So he couldn't be spending on nights. He couldn't be there in the day. He could come late at night. In the morning, he had to get up and get the hell out of there before they come and do an inspection and catch him over there. So that's why I ain't talk about the Umar stuff, because people just talking. It's 2 sides to every story. Because why her mama open them legs and had that baby bound? She wasn't married to him. So how she had the baby? How Umar's daughter mama had a baby by a man she wasn't married to? That a man that had no commitment to her, and she slept with him, right? She had sex with him, right? All right then. She had sex with him based on what? Umar's daughter mama, what was the mama on to have a baby by him and he had made no commitment to be a father or a husband? Because where I come from, that's a hoe. So you slept with him, had the baby, then you had demands on her? Because my mama had demands on my daddy first. My aunties had demands on my uncle first. All my friends' mamas had demands on the men before they would even marry them. And they not finna sleep with you and let you get them pregnant until you make these demands and marry them. So how you a deadbeat daddy when you don't take care of the kid, but the mama having babies and she having babies out of wedlock. According to the ancient black teachers, she a slut. Because she having babies out of wedlock. She ain't put no demands on Umar. So what is demands now? It wasn't no demands when you fucked her. His daughter bogus. She all on social media. A social media baby on social media telling her personal family business. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All I'm saying is the daughter only telling the story from what her mama tell her. So when we have children by these women could break up and go out there and then they could tell the children their side of the story. Then the children grow up and they have you as the enemy because their mama told only her side of the story. The daddy don't get to tell his side of the story. So that girl only got one side of the story. She only got the side of the story, Umar. But what I would tell the interview, tell us about your mama. What was up with your mama? What was your mama like before you was born? What kind of woman was she? You don't know. I'll just say it. So that's all fake. That's why I ain't talked about it. Who my daughter bogus? She out of line. You know what I'm saying? She talk about something she don't be knowing. But it don't matter as long as there's people on the planet. It don't matter. The Most High makes sure there's people on the planet by hook or by crook. So whether the young lady know it or not, she here to reproduce, and that's her only mission anyway. So all that shit she talking ain't nothing. Because at the end of the day, the population must stay here. So she a baby. She don't know. You know what I'm saying? She don't know. But we know birds of a feather flock together. So if Umar ain't nothing, then the mama ain't nothing. Both of her parents ain't nothing. The mama let him fuck her. That's like my daughter. She go get with a dude and then have a baby by then come tell me the dude ain't no good. You know, it's like you slept with him. You slept with him. So don't come try to tell me he ain't no good. Why you didn't tell yourself he wasn't no good before you got pregnant by him? What you telling me for? Now you want me to hate on some dude that you picked? No. You get what you pay for. What I'm going to get mad about some grown people? She grown. She went and picked dude, and that's their business. I can't be mad at no dude talking me he ain't no good when she didn't take time to make sure he was good before she started sleeping with him. A woman is supposed to court. You're supposed to find out who you with. And if a man ain't no good, he ain't going to keep dating you with no sex because he know eventually he going to have to show you who he really is. So if you make him wait, he'll either show you he decent or he'll leave and he'll look for another chicken head. So what these women do, you don't want them to leave and look for another chicken head, so you give in. This is why our ancestors used to court. A young lady got a court. You got to date this man for a while to see who it is. The men got a court too. You done met this woman, you done slept with her, she ain't got pregnant, you get with her and get married, then you find out she crazy. If you would have dated her for a few months, you would have been seen she crazy. Or you would have been seen he crazy. Like I said about LeBron, G-Rod. When you 18, up to 18, I'm your daddy. And you my baby, you my child. Once you 18, I'm not your daddy. I'm your father, and you my daughter and my son. I'm not getting involved with my daughter and son's decision. Y'all adults. It's a wrap. I'm not your daddy. I'm your father now. I'm not your daddy. Kids got daddies. Adults have fathers. That's why you got to get out. That's why you got to get older, get you some money, and get out and get your own place. Because there can't be no bunch of adults up in here in my house and my shit. You got to get the fuck out. So when my son, he want to sleep with women and shit, he got to get the fuck out. He got to go get a job and get him an apartment. Not this new shit y'all on. And if he had to do all that, he'll slow down. Y'all parents, y'all letting them go fast by letting them be losers and letting them be adults on this end and babies on this end. So your son's a big ass, stupid ass baby living with his mom and daddy, but then want to go over here and have sex and have a woman and act like a grown man. Where they do that at? Let me show you something. I ain't just talking. Anybody could tell you everything I'm saying is real. Let me show you something. I showed a picture when I first started. When I first started this live, I showed you a picture of my girlfriend from high school. Let me show y'all something. Let me show you this picture again. Because y'all think I'm playing. I'm not playing. Everything I say is real. This is my girlfriend. We met in high school. She lived with her mother. I lived with my parents. This is our picture. We out of high school. We working. Guess where we lived at? We was having sex. Guess where? At our apartment. We wasn't at her mama's house, and we was not at our parents' house. We had our own apartment. We went to work every day, and we lived like adults. We didn't live like kids and act like adults. We live like adults and act like adults. Facts. This the young me, and we at our own place. We worked every day. So we can walk around naked and cook and have breakfast and have sex like adults. I did not do that at my parents' house or at her parents' house. And anything problems we had is between us. It ain't my mama and daddy problems or her mama problem, nothing. Period. Simple, just like that. So I mean, the young generation, your parenting is horrible. You're the worst parents in the history of Black America. You got these grown-ass boys. None of my sons live with me or my daughters when they got grown. What you mean, what's my parents or godparents? Godparents, who the hell is that? I ain't had no goddamn godparents. I had uncles and aunties. What the fuck is a godparent? I don't know what the hell that is. I ain't had no godparents. Who the hell is that? I got my grandmama, my granddaddy, my auntie, my uncle. I got no goddamn, what the fuck is a godparent? Some shit y'all made up? I don't fucking godparent. Nigga, you either a relative or you ain't. How the hell you gonna be a make-believe relative? The fuck is a godparent? It's me and my sister. If any of our children get in a bad situation, they gonna call one of us. My children, if I can't help them, they gonna call my sister. Her children, if they can't help them, they gonna call me. My sister is the goddamn godparents because God made her to be my sister. I don't know what the hell a godparent is. I guess a godparent is when you're a bunch of weirdos only having one baby. And so now you got to make up a godparent because you're a weirdo, only got one baby because you're talking about it's too expensive to have two babies while you blowing money on bullshit. Fuck a godparent. That sounds like some bullshit y'all made up. Fuck is a godparent? A godparent is for motherfuckers that ain't got no family. If you got a bunch of aunties and have some babies, you don't need no godparent. What you need a godparent for? I had an auntie, Niecy, most of my sister's sisters. She watched us. What the hell? What is a god? What the fuck we need with a godparent? What's that for? I ain't never had no godparents. I don't know. I only got parents. I don't got no two parents. I got a godparent. I got my mom and my daddy is my godparents because God gave them to me to be my parents. Then I have my auntie, my sister's, my mother's young sister. All that shit is y'all following Europeans that don't even like y'all. What the fuck is a godparent? A godparent is because y'all ain't got no babies. You ain't got no babies. You a single man. You a single woman. Your mom only had one child, a daughter. Then she have a baby. Now she got to go find a godparent because she ain't got no sisters to help her. She ain't got no brothers to help her because the weirdo's only trying to have one weirdo baby. And you ever married somebody that's only one in the family? They fucked up. A single child is trash. They selfish. They got no sense of sharing. They ain't learning none of the basic things in life because they ain't got no brothers and sisters. But when you grow up, you got a sister, you already know you got to share. You already know you got to get along. You already know you got to play together. But when you are only child, you an asshole. You ain't learned none of the basic things in life to be able to deal with other people. You some kind of nut job. You understand? What the hell's a fucking godparent? We had what you call babysitters. Your mama found a young lady in the neighborhood to be a babysitter. We had a babysitter. What the hell's a godparent? My children ain't never had no godparents. I don't know what they need no godparents for. They got their mama and their daddy. How many parents they need? They got two. I'm confused. It taught you how to deal with people. I mean, that's what you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just weirdo stuff. You try to do what white people do, G-Ra. You try to do what the Catholics and stuff. You try to take these Catholic religions and you try to take this culture from some other people and you trying to adapt that into black families and try to change the black family and mold the black family into that when the black family, because we were slaves and because we was raised in this house while the master was in that house, we had already developed our own culture. And as they came to the north and you began to work your way into society, you want to copy them. I ain't gonna cut y'all no break. You want to be like them. You want to adapt into their society instead of keep your own traditions, like the Chinese do, like the Mexicans do. You wanted to start taking all that shit as they shit. All that catechism and all that baptism and all that. That ain't black people shit. Ain't no black people in the 60s had no fucking godparents. Unheard of. The only time we heard of a godparent was goddamn it the fairy godmother in the goddamn Cinderella or some one of them. The only time I ever heard of godparent was the fairy godmother from a fairy tale. Ain't nobody I knew had no damn godparents. What the hell is that? They had babies. So I ain't never had no godparents. I had uncles and aunties. Y'all ain't got no uncles and aunties. You got to understand the survival of black people was based on family. No family, no survival. There was no survival without family. These is facts. Nobody won't smoke with me on none of this information. No family, no survival. If you didn't have family, you couldn't survive. Period. Point blank, period. No family, no survival. That's a fact. This is my father. He's at the top in the middle, was the youngest of 13. This is only 10 of them. 3 of them is in the military, not even in the picture. My oldest uncle is the one on the bottom on the left with the white color looking suit, with the light color suit. This is all my uncles. This is not all of them, but this is 10 of my uncles and aunties just on my daddy's side. It's 3 more. You want to know some real family history? You want to know what's really going on with our family? Stop listening to all this make-believe nonsense out here and get y'all head together. Because everything they teaching you is nonsense. Straight nonsense. That's my father's family. 3 of them not there. That's my daddy's daddy. This the man that had all them children. And my grandfather on my father's side had a farm. And the man next door to him, not next door, but the next farm next to him, that man had 1 son. And that man was starving. And my grandfather's farm was prosperous because he had a lot of boys. So he had workers. So he could grow more food. So he could get more chores done. And my grandfather used to have to rent out a couple of my uncles to the man next door because my daddy said because he didn't have no babies, he was starving. They ain't teaching y'all that. If this shit collapse and you in your house, you and your girl and your wife with 1 child, and I'm in my house with 6 children, who you think got the most guns? Who you think got the best ability to defend the house? So because he had all of them boys, he prospered. Because he had workers. He had people could get stuff done. And don't they all look successful? They all did well. The one down at the bottom with the light-skinned suit is the first black president in Alabama, one of the first black principals, of a school. When my daddy the baby, he at the top in the middle. He the baby, he the youngest of 13. It was 16, but 3 died in birth. And when my daddy went to grade school, my uncle was the principal and my aunt was his teacher. He used to tell me, boy, you don't know what it's like to go to school and your brother, your oldest brother's the principal, and your big sister, your oldest sister is your teacher. You couldn't mess up. He said, because she gonna turn your ear and take you to your older brother, and he gonna dish you. Then he gonna take you to daddy, and then daddy gonna dog you. You ain't getting no break. So all that not having no babies, I ain't trying to hear that. I got 6 children. I'm trying to have babies. No babies, you a buster. You ain't got no babies, you ain't on nothing. Now the relationship might not work out, but in time, them babies are still gonna be beneficial. Because them girls are gonna provide another man something to breed with. That's why at weddings, you what? You give your daughters away. So my 3 daughters are here for another man to grow a family. My 3 sons is here to extend my family. So I provided women for y'all out there to marry and to extend your family. And then I got sons to marry women to extend my family. So I'm helping the race 2 ways. I'm providing women for men to breed and marry, and I'm providing men to breed and keep the race and keep my family name going on. So the system trying to make your children a bunch of weirdos. So now you do all this work and have these children, then they try to tell your children don't have no children. If you got 6 children, and if they go out there and all have 6, now you can grow. But if you have 6 children and then they teach your children to go be all kind of weirdos, then you're going backwards. You have 6 children and then have 6 children, and them children only got 2 goddamn children beyond all 6 of them. Out of all 6 of them, they going to have 2. You going backwards. That's supposed to be 6, and then them 6 supposed to at least have 2. That would be 12 if they had 3. That would be 18 if they had 4. That would be 24. The race would be growing, more hands on deck, more businesses, more factories. No, you a nut. Don't want to have no babies. And then your one son get in a car accident or something, and that's it. You're wiped out. Family gone. You won't exist anymore. You're going to pass away and be wiped off the map. Wiped out. You don't exist. You have no lineage. It's like you was never here. But that's on you. They don't teach that. I don't know what they teaching you. So they come in with the Jesus, they come in with the bullshit religion. So brothers come over with the religion stuff, also religion, like what the Bible says, or some religion about. Man, I ain't with no religion. Religion told you you got to do all this biblical stuff. If you get legally married and go have a church wedding, and this man don't get legally married, and you have one child legally married, and then break up after 5 years, and this man and this woman have 3 children, but stay together their whole life, what the fuck do your marriage mean? Because your marriage was just bullshit. Because you swore to stay together, didn't stay together. They didn't even swear to stay together, and they stayed together. So what good is marriage when you don't even honor that shit anyway? Every time you get married in America, 7 people get divorced during every marriage. Out of every one marriage, 7 couples get divorced by the time one couple get married. During your marriage ceremony, 7 people got a divorce. 7 couples. Look it up. During your marriage ceremony, 7 couples get divorced. Worry about your careers. That's because they don't let you know that teamwork makes the dream work. And so ain't nothing stopping you from getting no career because you got no baby. That don't stop you from getting no career. I get with a woman, she get pregnant, she have a baby, she won't go back to school. Now she can go to school while I take care of the baby and work. So I can work, take care of the baby, she can go to school. Boom, she finished, she get her degree. She go get a job with more money. Now I go to school. So if we get married at 20, by the time we 30, we both could have careers. And our children could be 10 years old. So all that's just bullshit. Ain't nothing about no children with no couple stop them from getting a career. My mom and daddy came here from Alabama, had me and my sister. My mother was working at Spiegel's. She went back to school. She started working for the city, then the state, and she ended up working for the federal government. All while she had children. So all that's bullshit. Listening to other people telling you shit, make-believe bullshit. So then we got a lot of young black people. They get out of high school. They ain't got the money to go to college. They ain't got the money to go to no university. If you ain't poor enough to get a grant and your parents make a little money, they ain't gonna give you no grant, and your parents don't got enough money to pay it, so you can't go to college. So why not get married and work and then send your own self to college as an adult? Because if you're a woman and you live with your parents and you filed to get money to go to school, if your parents are struggling, they'll give you a loan to go to school. But if your parents got a little bit of money, they won't. Y'all got to try to figure to pay it. So why not move out on your own? Now you independent, and now you don't got enough money to go to school, and you can get the grant because you don't live with your parents. So you don't have to send in your parents' information from working, and you can still go to school. You can still get the grant to go to school. Make it make some sense. And here go another thing. Then when you go to school a lot of times, you got to get a part-time job. So why you don't get no job and go to school, but you go to school and get a job? Make it make some sense. You don't get no job and go to school, but then you go to school and get a job. So now you some weird old lady, you want your career. You don't want no relationship. You don't want no children, so you go to school. You go to school, you get a job. Now your career. One day you decide you want to have a baby, but now you ain't got no man. So now you got to go meet a man. You meet a man, he might not want to have no baby. He might have a baby and dump you anyway. You're in the same position you would have been in. My uncle, with the light color suit at the bottom, he was very successful. First principal in Alabama, one of the first principals doing well. Nice house, nice car, everything. Him and his wife lived really well. They wanted to plan to have their money 100% together before they had children. And when they got everything together to have children, they found out she couldn't have no babies. So he did all that waiting to have babies to find out she couldn't have no babies. He ended up working in the church and stuff and getting a woman pregnant because he wanted to have babies, and it wasn't even his wife. And it was a big scandal in the family that my uncle had a baby with this lady at the church while he was married because his wife couldn't have no babies, but he saved his money all this time to have a baby. But he at the church talking God. Show me where God said you got to do some Babylon shit to have a baby. Show me that in the Bible. Show me that in the Quran. Where you got to go and please the Babylon system for you could have a baby. So by the time he got everything perfect to have a baby, found out she couldn't have no baby. Now he living in turmoil. He getting older and older and older, ain't got no child. Then old as hell, he go get a young girl pregnant. Outside of wedlock, the preacher. Why? Because he put money before God. Because I ain't never read what God say, get money. But I did read it say, be fruitful and multiply. I ain't never read where it said, get money. It said, be fruitful and multiply. Your sexual organs don't work better when you get money. They work anyway. So now if you want to play the Babylon game before you have children, now the devil controls your birth rate. Now the devil controls you. You said, Pharaoh, I got to wait till the devil get everything right before I can have babies. Because that's who that is. God ain't got that system you working for. Fruit just grow on the trees. The stores don't own apples. How does the store own the apples? There was apples and stuff already here. There was land already here. So who started selling the land and selling the apples and selling the stuff that was already here? And you going for that bullshit. Talking about you want to do all this perfect shit for you have a baby. Then you have a baby. Now your baby LGBTQ and all this. Your baby ain't even have no babies. Because you trying to plan all this perfect shit. The devil. Because you playing with the devil, basically. You then equated the devil into life. No, Pharaoh, I got to go play the Babylon game before I can have children. All right. That means Babylon control your mind and put you in that position. Okay, let's make it hard for them to survive so they won't have no children. So you let somebody make you don't have no children because you a nut talking about you got to have a goddamn career. You're like, Pharaoh, I got to be a slave first for I have a baby because a career ain't nothing but a slave. You a slave. And your career lasts to what, 65? That's what you call it a career? You call that a career working till you 65? You call it a career working, buying a fancy car and a fancy home, but you can't never be in it because you got to be your monkey ass at work? You got a nice house, right? Do you be in it all day? No, you be at work. The house just sitting there. The car just parked. The car just parked. The car is junk. The house is junk. If you got a house and you ain't got no babies in it, it's junk. You got a big ass piece of junk. It's a piece of junk Look how long it took Michael Jordan to sell his mansion. Did nobody want that shit? Mike Tyson. Go look it up. Right now, 2025, everybody's dumping their mansions. Nobody wants a fucking mansion anymore. Why? Because it was a waste of money. A bunch of room with no people in it is a waste of money. You got a 9-bedroom house with 3 people in the motherfucker. And you got a bunch of empty rooms that you got to get dusted, vacuumed, and taken care of because the spiders and shit go through, but it ain't nobody in there. You're like Floyd Mayweather with 10 cars, and they just sitting there. They just sitting there. The immigrants is going to come here and do the same thing. They're going to come here, not have no babies, end up sterile, get fat, get sick, eat this food, and be at the doctor. The Mexicans came here, now the Mexicans is sick. The Mexicans got diabetes. The Mexicans are overweight. The Mexicans is right next to the black people with all of these comorbidities. The Mexicans came up here to die. That's what they came up here for. They came up here to be slaves and die. The immigrants is coming up here to be slaves and to die in this system and get sick. That's a fact. They came up here to pay rent or mortgage. You pay your mortgage. You buy a nice big house. After about 20 years, the house is paid for. Now you're getting the property taxes. If you miss the property taxes, they could take your house. So if they could take your house after it's paid for, because you didn't pay the property taxes, do you own the house? No, you never own a house. Before my father passed away, he taught me that. My father bought our house when I was 4 years old, my sister was 3. He paid $250 a month for his mortgage. My daddy told me the house is paid for and his taxes was $2,500 a year. He said they were still charging me the price of rent, basically, because that's $250 for 10 months. And he said, boy, you never own these houses. Don't let them fool you. You never own it. Never. He said, you never own it. Ever. It's a trick. That's what he told me. He said, you do better have an apartment. Because at the end of the day, you don't own it. You never own it. If you got a house right now, you don't own that house. You will never own that house. You will never be able to live in that house without paying to stay in that house. They don't call it rent no more. They don't call it mortgage. They call it property taxes. And they can raise the property taxes however they want to do it. We have an older friend right now. They raised her property taxes, so she got to pay an extra $400 a month in order for her taxes to be paid at the end of the year. And the older lady is retired and she crying and everything because she don't got it. She living on a fixed income. And they want another $400 a month. And if she don't find it, they're going to take her house that she paid for already. So if they could take it, do you own it? And you could pay all that money for a house and lose it. I can go down to the tax office and get it. I can go get your house right now at the tax office. You want to buy a house? Don't go be looking at all. Go down to the tax office. And all you got to do is pay the back taxes and it's yours. I can get any kind of house I want in Chicago. All I got to go down to the tax office, find the one I like, and pay off the taxes. It's mine. It could be have everything in it. It could be beautiful. All that money you put into it, I can get it for $2,500 right now. Your whole goddamn house. I can get it for $2,500. Something you pay thousands in it. Something you pay thousands for. And then when you get the property, guess what? How long a plumbing system lasts for you got to redo the whole plumbing? About 20, 25 years. How long the roof lasts for you got a whole nother roof? Oh, about 7 years, 7 to 10 years. How long the gutters and all that last? Oh, about the same. So you got to go and gut the house constantly. Constantly. You got to constantly throw $50,000 into that house. Period. You're going to throw 50 grand in that house every so many years. Period. Now what you going to do? They don't tell you all that. When you buy a house, how long you think the wiring going to be good in that house for it might catch on fire? You got to fix that wiring. Them wires going to rot. All them wires in the walls and shit, how long you think them wires going to stay like that? So by the time you raise a family in the house ain't no more good. By the time you get in the house, have babies, and raise them till they 20, 25 years old, that whole house got to be redid. The plumbing is shot. The electrical is shot. The roof is shot. It's already been painted how many times? And you just throwing money away. That's why you having to live in hotels. He ain't had no problem. He lived in hotels because he was smart. I'd rather pay rent. You fix the shit. You know what I'm saying? You fix this shit, is yours. Because that shit's a waste of money. People say, well, you could pass it down to a family. All right. What you know about family? Family ain't going to do nothing but lose it. That's why when people get older, they liquidate everything, get the cash. They rather pass down the cash because the family going to fuck up everything all that you work for. The next generation ain't going to take care of that. Don't nobody never respect nothing like the person that worked for it. Y'all think all these white people rich. These white people is knee deep in debt. They ain't got no money. My daddy taught me that. My daddy said the difference between a black man and a white man. My daddy said a white man will buy a Winnebago and know he can't pay for it. And drive it and have fun. And when they take it back, he don't care. My daddy told me that when I was young. He said, boy, they don't be trying to pay for this shit. They just get it, enjoy it. And they don't care if they can't pay for it. Come take it back. He said, you look at all these trucks and stuff out here. They're going to come take that shit back. They don't care. That's what my daddy taught me. He said the difference between whites and blacks is whites will get it and use it and don't care. They lose shit all the time. They don't care. They just go get something else. They don't care. They can't afford all them boats and shit. That's why you'll see them with a boat, and 5 years later, you won't see the boat no more. I never buy a house. I ain't got no need for no house. I was living in Hawaii. I was living in California. I was living in Chicago. I wasn't stable. My parents already had a house. The fuck I wanted with a house. My mom and daddy had a house. They was old as hell. Wasn't nobody in the house. I had a house. I didn't even keep that house because they got a reverse mortgage, and the price for the reverse mortgage with the new roof and the new electrical and the ground getting dug up to get the roots out the ground for the drain, that wasn't worth it. The house wasn't worth what it would take to keep it. It would have been a loss. I could have kept it, but it would have been a loss. It would have been an L. I'm not finna give them all that money for that house. It ain't worth that shit. No old house like that. It was a nice house, but it was old. It was in great condition. The house be on a great condition. The outside look great. The inside be great. But behind them walls, all that electrical and plumbing ain't great. And they don't tell y'all that. They just show you the plaster and the walls and stuff, make you think the house is good. But in between them walls, where all them wires at and all that electric, that shit is trash. And you gotta spend a lot of money. So if I had a house right now, what the fuck would I do with it? The children ain't gonna want to live together, so you gotta pick one child to live there. Cause your son got a baby mama over here, your daughter got a baby mama over here. So they're not gonna live together. So who you gonna get a house to? Older people sell their houses. They don't pass them down. Houses are only to raise your children. Once you raise your children, sell it. It's a waste of money. It's only good for raising children. Soon as your children gone and you getting into 50, 60 years old, you want to cut grass? You want to paint at 60, 65 years old? That's for a young man. A young man get a house. 20 years old, 30 years old, like my daddy when he got the house. He was young, cut the grass, all that. It was perfect. Me and my sister grew up in it. By the time my daddy passed away, he couldn't even stand up or walk or nothing. That's why I was doing lives living with him. What are you going to do with the house? He couldn't take care of no house. What you going to do with a house when you get 60? $50 bought Mike Tyson's mansion, right? And what'd he do? Sold it. And what he said about it? It was a waste of money. It's a waste of money. If you're not raising a bunch of children, if you buy a house and you ain't got 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, you're a fool. You're a fool. So you got a house with nobody in it? So what you got it for? Oh, just to say you got a house. I'm 67 years old. What the fuck I'm gonna do with a house? I don't want no house. I don't want no condo. Don't name this shit no condo. Sell me no apartment and call it a condo. Y'all some suckers. Motherfucker sell you apartment, but he just name it a condo. And you like, I live in a condo. Nigga, you live in an apartment. That's an apartment. That's an apartment, bruh, that you living in. No, I don't need all that shit. I'm 67. I need a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't need no house. Fuck I'm gonna do with a house? What the hell I'm gonna do with a house? I want to be able to lock my apartment, go out of town for 3 months. I don't want to have to babysit no motherfucking house. I want to be able to go. I just got back from Arizona. I was out there a month. I'm free. That's your responsibility. It's for young people. Houses is good for young people. But when I was young, I wasn't stationary. I was in Hawaii. Do I want to trade living in Hawaii to be here like a slave to buy a house? Hell the fuck no. All my friends, let me tell you something. I got friends got nice homes. I got friends got nice cars and homes that I went to high school with and grade school and grew up with. And you know how everybody sit around and talk about their accomplishments in life? Guess who the superstar is? Me. I'm the superstar. They say, man, you got out of here, man. You went way to Hawaii, man. Man, you got out of here. I'm the superstar. That's a fact. They all wish they could have did what I did. They were stuck in one place all them years. I come back from Hawaii, California, they stuck like slaves. They get to go somewhere 2 weeks. My life was a vacation. So you like the tightness of apartments and not be able to make noise and not worry about anything. Listen, bro, I'm 60. How old are you, G-Rock? How old are you? What's your age? What's your age? Okay, you 45, bro. I'm finna be 70. What noise? You know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm finna be 70. In 36 months, I will be 70. You're thinking from a 45-year-old man. You gotta be 55, 60. You got 25 years before you be 70. Do you think what you want now, you will want at 70? Answer me that. The way you living now, are you gonna want to live like that at 70? Because all seniors sell their homes and move in apartments and condos. No seniors stay in no homes, not white ones. I'm about to be 70, bruh. I'm not cutting no motherfucking grass or none of that. I'm not cutting no grass, bruh. I'm not raking no leaves. I ain't shoveling no snow, bruh. I'm not shoveling no snow, bruh. Somebody else gotta go shovel it. I'm not doing all that. You see what I'm saying? I'm 67, bruh. I need a place that manages itself. I'm finna go on a book tour. I'm not gonna be home for how long? When the book get done, I won't even be here. Imagine if I had a house. So I ain't gotta worry about nothing. The people that own the building, they keeping everything going. I don't gotta worry about it. You can't, you say noise. Guess what? You can't kick the door open because somebody over there and somebody over there and somebody up there and somebody up there. It's a total security system. Everybody's film coming in and out the building. So I ain't got to worry about break-ins. And so if I want to chase the bag, I don't got nothing stopping me from chasing the bag. If I got a house, I can't go nowhere. I can't go get no money. And I be around rich motherfuckers. They just won't come on my life. I be around a lot of rich white men. All my rich white friends, they ain't got no homes. They ain't got no houses. My rich white friends sold their houses. My rich white friends bought houses, got married, had children. Their wife took every goddamn thing and everything. And they sold their houses. They live in buildings. If you come downtown Chicago, let me show you. I'm giving y'all game. I'm giving you real game. Let me show you how the rich people live. Let me ask y'all a simple question. Let me ask you something. Let me find a perfect picture. I'm going to ask y'all a serious question. Right? Just think about it. I'm going to ask y'all a serious question. I'm giving y'all game. Okay? Watch this. Let me ask y'all a serious question. Because I live in Chicago, right? Let me ask y'all a serious question. I be trying to get my friends to come in the live, but they businessmen, they don't want to do it. I be like, well, just hide your face. They're like, nah. They don't want to do it. I said, man, the people need to hear from y'all, but they don't want to do it. I understand though. Let me show y'all something. I'm gonna ask y'all a serious question. I want y'all to ask the question, answer the question. This is a serious question. Boy, I be giving y'all a serious game over here. Young brothers, listen to me, listen and learn. I be giving y'all super duper game that nobody want to tell you because they all trying to tell you what they telling you in the world to make you think that equals success. Right? But what they telling you equals success, ain't nobody successful doing it. Ain't the bosses not doing none of that shit. Hold on, watch this. You won't get this shit nowhere. Nobody gonna tell you this because everybody want to sound fake successful based on the standards of what TV tell you success is. Right? So they have a thing what TV tell you success is, which they be lying to you because what they tell you success is, that's how they make money. So they make money off of you trying to be successful because they the ones sell the stuff that they say you need to be successful. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. They make the money off of what they tell you need to do to be successful. Everything they tell you to get, they sell it. Now, think, this is downtown Chicago, right? Right, G-Ra? This is downtown Chicago. How many houses do you see? How many houses do you see down there? Do you see one house? Who lived down there, G-Ra? Who lived down there? Who lived there? Who lives down there? Poor people? Middle class people? Or millionaires and billionaires? I rest my motherfucking case. Okay, where do I live? Okay. Where do I live? All right. Where do I live? Do you know how many people live? Look at these buildings. Do you have how many people live down there? How many people these buildings hold? My friends, they walk outside, they go down to the river, they get on the boat to the river, and they take them down to work. My friends walk out their building, walk down to the river, take a boat to work because they got boat taxis on the Chicago River. Lake Michigan is over here. The Chicago River run right down the middle of the city. They got a bunch of apartments right off of the Chicago River. And in the morning, they got boat taxis to take you to work. A lot of them got bikes, and their job got a place to park your bike. And they put their suit on, they take their jacket off, they fold it, put it in the thing, they get on their bike, they ride to work. They'll take an Uber to work from one side of downtown to the other. It don't cost nothing. And this is where they all live. They don't have houses. They don't have no house. They don't want no motherfucking house. A lot of them, they'll be in an apartment, right? I'm gonna give y'all a game. So I know these white girls. There was 4 of them. And they lived in this really, really, really nice building. And they rent was like, the rent for the building was like $2,800 a month. They got 2 bunk beds and they got 2 bedrooms. They got a bunk bed in each room. There's 4 of them in there. They pay $700 a month. They pay $700 a month. They live in the nicest apartment downtown. And they go to work and come back. They got the top amenities in the building. Tennis courts, everything. They only pay $700 to use all that because there's 4 of them in there. So I was around a bunch of white kids, about 25 of them. I was at one of their events. I'd be the only OG and shit like that. They was young. So I asked them, I said, and they don't want that. They don't want their apartments or their condos like the old shit. They don't want no kitchen. They want an open sit down and an open kitchen where the kitchen go right to where they all sit down. They don't want like your grandmama. They don't want that. Now, if one of the girls get a job somewhere else, she'll leave and they'll rent out to somebody else to keep 4 people in there. So I asked them, I asked the white dude, I said, so why you don't want no house? He said, Pharaoh, if I buy a house will make me a slave. I said, what you mean? He said, okay, let's say I'm an engineer and I buy a house in Chicago and I work for this firm. And this firm don't want to give me the raise I want. He said, I can't just quit because I done bought a house for me and my wife and I'm stuck in this city. He said, but because I don't own a house, if they paying me $120,000, $160,000, but Dallas want to pay me $200,000, he said, I could just leave. I don't got no house. So this is what the young white kids told me. They say a house makes the system trap you where you can't look for no other opportunity because you have the responsibility of a house. They said, but when you don't have the responsibility of a long mortgage, we can go wherever the money's at. So he said, if his boy Franklin, he said, if Franklin find an opportunity in New York, he said, Franklin will leave the apartment. We'll find another roommate. Franklin get to New York, get in the other job for more money, find an opening for us, call us, we pack up and we go where Franklin at and get more money. They said that the house make you a slave to the industry in your city. See, I be listening to young people. So when I be telling y'all stuff, it don't be no old shit. These is 20, 25-year-olds telling me the game. So I made a mistake. I said, so what, you drive and take your car? They laughed. They said, we don't got no car. They said, cars is outdated, Pharaoh. They said, dude got his computer out. He wrote down everything a car costs. He said, why would I pay for a car? Parking. They said, when I go to a concert, I got to pay for parking. When I could wait till I got to go somewhere, call an Uber. The Uber or the Lyft can drop me right in front of the concert. I can go in the concert, have a good time. Don't have to pay no motherfucking parking. Come out, call an Uber, drop me off, and the car leave. I got no car insurance. I got no car note or nothing. I said, damn. So even when they get married, their wife got to move in an apartment or something where they can get out the lease. They not buying no house. Because they want to go where the money's at. And they don't want to be stuck nowhere with no 30-year mortgage. I don't blame them. See, one thing is you got to listen to the younger generation. You got to get knowledge wherever knowledge is at. And so I be talking to the young white dudes and the young white girls because they more upward and mobile in the country. They don't want no houses. Houses is over with. That's why they building all this stuff. They building all this stuff. Houses is a wrap. You can get a house in Chicago right now easy. I got a friend, she just bought a house. She 50 something. She born 1972, 82, 92, 2002, 2012, 2022, 23, 24, 20. She 53. She bought a house. Worst mistake she ever made. I didn't tell her that. I said, I'm happy for you. But it's going to come back to bite her. She's 53 years old. What the fuck you buy a house for? Fuck you buy a house for? She thinks she wanted a house. She went and bought the fucking house. Fuck you want with the house? You gonna fix all this shit? Go ahead. No, that shit outdated. Nobody want no motherfucking house. I don't want no house. I'm trying to get me some business property. I want business property with apartments upstairs. I don't want no motherfucking house. I'm looking at some buildings. I need business property where I could put a Sprint in there. Or I could put a Starbucks downstairs, and it's apartments upstairs. 4 apartments upstairs. It's business downstairs. I can make a deal, put a Starbucks in there. I could let 3 people rent upstairs. I could keep the 1 apartment for myself. I got 3 neighbors, so can't nobody do it in my apartment, and I got Starbucks downstairs. So I want 1 in Chicago, 1 in Los Angeles, 1 in Miami, like that. So when I go at Miami, I already got an apartment with renters there. I got renters upstairs. I got a business downstairs. I don't want no I don't want no, I don't want no residential property. I don't want no residential property. Mm-mm. That's what these con artists are selling black people, residential property. I don't want no goddamn residential property. For what? That was my daddy and them doing that. I want commercial property. I want I want commercial property. I don't want no home, no house. I want commercial property with apartment upstairs. I don't want that shit. Get you some commercial property. Fuck you want residential property ain't shit. When you go outside your neighborhood and drive and you go down to the little spot and look at all them stores, who own that shit? They the ones making money. That's why they don't teach black people nothing about commercial property. They keep telling you to buy a home. But where is the T-Mobile when you go to T-Mobile? Who owned the building the T-Mobile in? Who owned the building the restaurant in? Who owned the building the laundromat in? Who owned the buildings with all them restaurants and all? Who owned that? They the ones getting money. If I put T-Mobile or Starbucks in there, they gonna be there for sure a good 10 to 20 years. I ain't got to worry about no other renter. And they gonna pay that big money. Y'all, I don't know why I don't get no donations in the Cash App. I be giving y'all shit. People be charging for this shit. You see, I be playing mind tricks because people like, oh, you don't want no house? I know that was something I wasn't supposed to say. So everybody like, you don't want no house? Because then they mad right away. That sounds like some loser shit. But then when I drop the bomb on your ass, then it's like, oh, fuck I want with a house. When I can have a T-Mobile downstairs and a free apartment up there and 3 other apartments paying me rent and T-Mobile paying. And if I put some signage on the roof of the business, they're going to pay me for the signage. When you drive and you see those signs up on them buildings, how much is the owner of the building making for that sign? Bank. Especially the more fancier the sign, the more money you make. When you drive around, black people, look at the signs up on buildings. And whoever own that building, they paying them good money to put that sign up there. I'm a businessman. All my neighbors had homes. I lived on 106. I lived in a neighborhood where black people had homes. And they raised their children in it, and that was good. But in the long run, what was the houses worth? Now when they pass away, they can't find nobody to move in the house. My sister ain't gonna move in my parents' house. She already got property. She making bank. What the hell she gonna do with their house? Commercial property. That's why they never tell you that, y'all. They never tell you nothing about commercial property. Listen, I'm going to end this live and I'm going to do a whole talk on that. Okay? I'm going to end this live. All right? I'm going to end this live and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about that.